Welcome to the Flat Earth Debate, live and after show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a Coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, Effie Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Burley, Twadwazzle, Jason Hornsby, JMails24, Unamento, Iron26, Endless, Golden McKinnon, Retro Bill, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Yun Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Neil, Adam, and a couple of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server, so welcome one and all.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm amazed I've cut it this fine. I've never cut the live show as fine as I have today. But there we go. That's just a testament to how pushed for time I generally am at the moment. I haven't fully set up this live show, so I'm going to do that now. Hopefully we can keep the conversation going with a bit of housekeeping while I make you guys in Discord and you guys in G+ look pretty. So let's do that. Where should we start? What haven't we done for a while? Any evidence?
I got a good one.
Go on.
Any evidence of a pre-show anymore?
Well, the pre-show is there to make sure that I have set everything up correctly. Everything looks pretty on screen. And I've got myself comfortable with a cup of coffee and indeed a secondary drink before 2 o'clock. Well, today I was out posting microphones. So I can't help but doing what the thing that pays the mortgage does, and that's microphones at the moment, more so than anything else. Although that is not necessarily strictly true, because
I got a question, guys.
You got a question? Go ahead.
Oh, not annoyed, Nathan.
No, you're giving me time to set stuff up, Gene. So you go ahead.
Right in the middle of something?
Okay.
What are you, Neil?
Anyways, one second. Okay, let me get away from this AC.
Now that will annoy me if you interrupt me to leave dead air, Gene.
Okay,
seriously.
Here I go. All right, my brother. So he's a flat earther, but he says you can't call the Earth flat because there's peaks, valleys, and mountains. He goes, those are not flat. I said, true. He said, we sit on a flat plane. He goes, I said, but the Earth is flat. He goes, well, is the mountain on the Earth? I said, yes. He goes, then you can't call it flat then.
Gosh, can. Okay, so the height that he's describing of the mountain is described with respect to a flat plane also. So if he wants to describe how high the mountain is, he'll describe its height of a horizontal plane of reference. That would be sea level. So to describe how not flat, in this case, your brother or brother-in-law or whatever he is suggesting it's not flat because the mountains. All right, well, how not flat it is dependent on it being flat to describe the height of that mountain with respect to sea level. Clear?
So sea level governs, pretty much drives the issue there.
The mountain itself, that's the argument, that the world's not flat, mountains, hills, valleys. Yeah, we've heard it all before. But the rebuttal is, okay, so how high a mountain or how deep a valley is measured. With respect to a flat plane, they give you the height of the mountain with respect to sea level. That's with reference to every bit of the flat plane and how high the mountain is. I'm nearly done. With respect to it, Earth must be measured flat to describe how, in this case, not flat, your brother's suggesting it isn't. Make sense?
Yes, that makes 100% sense now. But yeah, he was saying, well, it's obviously not flat. He says, what about the water? There's caves underneath and peaks and valleys down there too. And but yeah, I understand the sea level and, you know, the negative or positive pretty much of sea level. It describes how not flat it is, or I don't understand. I think I lost myself.
Yeah, to describe how not flat it is, you need to reference sea level and how flat we have as a horizontal plane of reference. That's Earth. And the deviation from that is the heights of the mountains and the depths of the valleys.
Oh, okay, I see. So he pretty much shoots himself in the foot before he even gets started.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Everything they're going to describe is from a flat plane. Everything on it, it's on the flat plane. So mountains, valleys, and hills, it's retarded.
Yeah, give me a measurement of how not flat that mountain is. Oh, right, to describe anything in actual terms that's been physically acquired with a measurement, we will need Earth to be a horizontal plane of reference to describe the height of the mountain with respect to sea level. Okay, so Earth's flat when we do anything beyond the baseless assertion that it's not flat because we've got topology of the land. Yeah, we know. It's all measured with respect to sea level, though.
For some reason, I think that ain't going to fly for him. He's going to say, I know that's his problem, right? But
yeah,
he's just going to say, well, it's on the Earth, right? It's not flat. He says it's not flat. It's not level. You're going to put a level on there. It's not going to be level.
All right, let me try and do it in a regular everyday thing. If I go do a measurement to do an area, let's say I'm putting tile down. Now I measure that area 200 feet by 200 feet. Now there's a couple of desks in the way. There's an island in the way. Does that change the fact
Hold on, Neil.
that what I'm measuring on is a flat surface?
No. Your response from your brother, the rebuttal, isn't satisfactory because it's not flat. We've got mountains and valleys. In other words, rinse and repeat. Yeah, the response to that is, yeah, it is flat if we are measuring it. You want to describe how high or low the valleys and mountains are, then if we are to measure anything ever, we'll be measuring Earth flat. Now, as a baseless assertion, we've got hills and valleys. Yeah, I know. How do we describe all of them against each other with respect to what? Yeah, they're all measured, aren't they? When you describe how high a mountain is. Yeah? That's described with respect to the horizontal plane. So how not flat it is, if you're going to describe that accurately, you'll measure Earth flat to do it. That's the point. Don't care if he likes that. You can be vague and go, well, just as an unambiguous statement, as an ambiguous statement, it's not flat because we've got hills and valleys. Okay, well, if you want to keep your belief in the world of obscurity and we never measure anything, well, how high is the mountain? Or if this falls on its arse the minute we measure something, does it? Because we'll need a flat Earth to do so. Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Anytime we qualify anything in terms of ever measuring anything ever, for Earth references, in this case, how high or low the mountain is, with respect to what again? Oh yeah, flat plane. Earth's measured flat.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it there, Nathan, to where I understand it now.
Morning, guys.
Of course. We've been here 10 years. Yeah? Yesterday we had to listen to bullshitting charlatan Creaky Blinder talking about how he's covered arguments hundreds of times. What a freaking outrage. No, he hasn't. He's a twat. Just some tosser mopping up the YouTube algorithmic views that have been shoved in his direction if he addresses flat earthers and says they're idiots. Meanwhile, we summarise every aspect of the argument coherently and concisely on a daily basis and have done for 10 years. Shove us to the bottom of the list and replace us with a tattooed wanker who can't string a frickin' sentence together. Feel free to check out yesterday's show if you want to see our response to Creaky. While he belches down his microphone. Moans about how he's not earning as much money as Jaron did. Shit like that. Meanwhile, in actual Poverty Street, we're still putting out the actual flat Earth information about how Earth's measured flat first and foremost. And in response to Gene. Just so we're clear about what happens here. Or as opposed to
What I
just a contrast, again, what happened on Creaky's show. I'm not going to the comment section, reading out a comment about something someone said, ignoring that it's a baseless assertion about what somebody said or point that out. Go and pick out a different thing that person that they're talking about in the comment section has said and respond to that instead. After burning a straw man about an opponent's position that they haven't taken. That is to say, Creaky suggested that flat earthers just infer that ball earthers pluck the idea of being on a ball out of the air and then start putting everything into sphericity without a care or leave. Yeah, that was his baseless assertion, straw man, that he tried to burn after reconfiguring a question about Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that stuff is flat into Tyson actually on a different occasion said it wasn't flat. I'll address that. And also, it doesn't matter what Tyson says when he says it's flat. And also, I'll cover him saying it's not. That was what our opponents do. These are the people propped up in the algorithm. These are the people who are favoured. These are the people called preferred content. They're not the people telling you that, well, Earth curve only exists in the maths. It's derived from a surface level measurement parallel with eye level at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That is a concise rendition of exactly what the religious belief in Earth curve actually consists of. You're not getting that from dickheads like Crackhead Creaky. What you're getting is him belch down his frickin' microphone for thousands of views and thousands of pounds, while I have to run around being late for my own live show because I'm delivering microphones. Now, in truth, that wasn't actually... I suppose it is kind of. I've written it off as being for microphones. I've sent microphones to people that I love. In this case, One Deck, right? I want him to have a microphone. Now, by chance, he had sent me a manual super chat, right? And I immediately gave it to my wife for car repairs because we've got a crap 25-year-old car that constantly breaks down that we cannot afford to replace. Now, that's what truly struggling is like when you're a YouTuber talking about the truth of flat Earth, the way Earth is measured, and detailing consistently how Earth curve is inferred at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height, measured off a flat Earth in feet. Yeah, that's why I get censored and Creaky can belch down his freaking microphone for money. Lots of it. Comparatively to me, I don't ask for much. What I do have to do is go out and post microphones, but today it wasn't for a customer, it was for a friend that I want and have encouraged people to say, yeah, I'm on your show, I wouldn't mind a microphone. Well, in this case, he didn't. He was like far from it. He wanted to get my address to send me a manual super chat because he's struggling electronically to do so. I'm like, oh, well, we're here. You come on the panel. I want to send you a microphone. He's like, I'm all right. I don't need a microphone. I'm a DJ. I don't want for a microphone. Like, let me send you a microphone. I got some nice ones. So yeah, I've sent One Deck a microphone.
Now, wait a second, because I thought on that same video, they were like praising Jiren for leaving Flat Earth and all that money he must have been making as a Flat Earth putting out content. And you're saying it's a struggle?
Jaren was never putting out promotional content that served Flat Earth, if you want to see it as a reifiable, anthropomorphizable entity. It isn't. But if you did, you couldn't really benefit it with what Jaren was saying ever. That's why it used to upset me. In the most sincere way, you know, I used to most sincerely lose sleep over Jaren and his behaviour because it frustrated the hell out of me. So I'm like, what he did never benefited us as Flat Earthers. But now we know why, right?
Crowley es el entierro.
Gene.
Creo que sí, en el oro sabe qué güey es.
Gene, you've come off mute and you're working through me. Gene, thanks. He was always causing me strife and loss of sleep with his shillery. That's why I'm now content to call it what it was. I wasn't content to just accept that as the explanation. I just thought he needed nurturing and giving better explanations about how Earth's measured flat. He braced against us at every step.
I don't know about you guys.
Ahead,
I don't know about you guys, but I find the hilarity in what Creaky did just to be outstanding. Because I know he's not the type going to put out arguments like, oh, the geometric horizon only exists in the math. He's not doing that. What does he do? Oh, it's a problem that NDT said that we can't see curvature. So look over here. Well, I show you a video of him saying that we can see curvature.
This is Creaky.
Yeah, we play that piece.
Yeah, this is Creaky. The level of the standards are absolutely outrageous in terms of what our opponents see as a decent standard. Here, we're held to the absolute highest of standard while we get censored.
That's correct.
But if you're on the ball
No,
side,
what-
any old crap will do. Doesn't matter. Just lie. No one will call you out on it.
Did you get a chance to hear QE show yesterday, Nathan?
No, I was too busy. I did
When
tune in.
Whitsitt could end an argument, he doesn't. It's sad, but you can actually tell how this was planned.
Yeah, the game's rigged, and it seems clear now. And everyone was trying to tell me, and I feel stupid. It's like those things that you don't notice until it's too late, and then you realise how stupid you've been. A coincidence, but it will tie mics into this subject. I'm sorry if you hate hearing about mics in Flat Earth, but that's just the way it is. A guy was pointing out that I'd made an error in one of my listings, and then he purchased it. So I'm like, fair enough. If you can have a little jab about an error I've made, that's as far as an engineer of this sort of equipment would be concerned, me describing a mic that's dynamic with a FET circuit is a bit outrageous. Yeah? And he's like, you've got this wrong. And on this other mic as well, you've got it wrong. And he's like, the reason I note it to you is because I see it all the time on Facebook, on all these ads. They're using AI, and they put this stupid nonsense in the ad, and it's really annoying. It needs people doing this stuff. My response, yeah, but I ticked the box that said FET, didn't I? Because I'm stupid. Yeah? Now I think about it, it's idiotic. But I still tick that box. I know I did. I remember ticking it. In other words, I'm an idiot. That's what I told him. And I said, idiots write the AI. And I said, look, you keep giving me all this information and I'm grateful for it, but it's pretty clear to me that you haven't lost hope in the general disposition of humanity. That is to say that, on the whole, people are thick. You know what I mean? Right, Creaky's just one example of a thicko. And because of the way that the algorithm props up and supports anybody who's supporting the globe Earth notion, he's deluded himself into thinking that what he does is good and what, the popularity that he has is justified. It's not born out of intelligence. It's not born out of having a good personality. He's just a wanker. And what is he actually putting out? Well, it's garbage, right? That's what we're dealing with. But in his mind, he's doing a really good job. Oh, I told this flat earther that he was a stupid retard. So I'm doing a really good job. And when somebody asked me about what flat earthers would mean when Tyson says that stuff is flat, I told him it doesn't matter what Tyson says, but he also says it isn't. Good job, I'm doing a good job. And then Creaky pats himself on the back. Now, in a crazy, messed up world where censorship is required because there's a religion of heliocentrism, that guy's thinking, I'm doing a great job. And these flirfs, they deserve every bit of censorship they're getting. They should struggle.
But Nathan, the Globers need a fantastic representative to be there to show them the video of Smoking McGrath Tyson saying there is curvature, because all the flirters are running around saying that there's a video of him saying there is no curvature. We need somebody like Creaky, whatever his name is. They need people like that, man. Those are the guardians of the globe, bro. Just get with it, man.
What you're saying is we need the lowest common denominator to be the head of the charge. I was watching. I think it was
they need. Just in case there's some poor normie who saw the video of NDT saying there you can't see curvature. There's Creaky as like the superhero with the cape on and terrible freaking speech pattern. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that guy. But
Well,
there he is to show everyone that there's a video with NDT saying that you can see curvature. And he saved the day, and everyone can go to sleep very, very, happily.
now I'm not saying he shags sheep, but societally that is a joke that we make about the Welsh because they have a lot of farms. My folks used to live in Wales, right on the border, and there is a lot of sheep. There you go. Read into that whatever you like.
Damn Welsh.
There's nothing wrong with the Welsh. Creaky's a dickhead. That doesn't mean the Welsh aren't absolutely fantastic people. They are. Same goes for the Irish, same goes for the Scottish, same goes for people in general. However, if you're a dickhead and you're Irish or Welsh or Scottish, I'll call you a Scottish or Irish or Welsh dickhead. Because you are. If you're a dickhead. And you're
I think
Welsh.
Adam would beg to differ when it comes to the French.
The French are the worst of all of them. What are you talking about? Don't get me started on the Spanish either.
We should change his name to Belchy Blinder.
But like I say, it doesn't matter. If you're being supported and propped up, it's like being subsidised. You know what I mean? Suddenly it don't matter so much. Right? Oh, I'll skip the class. If it's coming out of your back pocket and you worked to earn the money for the scholarship, you're at that class because you're paying for it. Oh, well, you're on a scholarship. Really? What does that mean in reality? Someone else is paying for it. Yeah, us. And it's the same with
Somebody is paying for it, that's for sure, because you ain't getting it for free.
Yeah, nothing ever comes for free. It, in this case, comes at someone's detriment. Mine. That's the point. These idiots on the Globe side think, oh, well, isn't it just fortunate? I made videos and suddenly I got views. It was great. It's because I'm ace. They delete themselves. It's because I'm really good and coherent. Down the mic. It's like, no, you're not. No. What they did was they took all the views off me. Yeah, you watch my growth. And then Congress were told, no, don't give anybody any flat earth views. And then they went down a cliff and then you came along and got views. That's how it worked. Literally. I mean, I carried on. I had to up my game, do more work, get extra lines of revenue, like work harder and longer and more, and perfect my art as I came under the highest degree of scrutiny with the lowest reward for it. Yeah, it's been tough being a flat earther. What's it mean? It means we're hewn out of rock. That's what it means. Yeah? Sculpted, every last one of us. Hewned the right word? Hewn out of rock? I'll have to look it up later. It's one of those times that the word dribbles out of my mouth like I know what it means. And afterwards I'll be listening to the show going, hewn? What does that mean? Hey Siri, what does hewn mean?
As a verb, heed means...
Not heed. Shut up, Siri. Didn't mean to actually ask you. Done for verbal effect. I wasn't actually trying to ask you, Siri. What did we get done? One housekeeping question. Wow. We talked
We'll do another one.
Talked a little about my microphones. Pretty good. I got to see one deck set up when I was like, what kind of interface you got, while I was nagging him about, you know, what microphone I could send him. And obviously, I do actually want it to be useful when it arrives. So I could see it wasn't one deck at all, lying bastard. Obviously, at some stage, he only had one deck. And then he got that name. Surely he should have changed his name to DJ 2 Decks. Or even 2 or more decks. I bet he's got several in a cupboard. Just seems like it's a lie. I bet he's actually DJ 5 Decks. Just lying.
DJ 5.
Trying to be modest. It's just egregious lies in reality, isn't it? If you've actually got 5 decks, why not just be honest about it? One deck, my ass.
Hey, Nathan, I don't even think we did a housekeeping question. I asked if there was any evidence that we would have a pre-show again.
We will have pre-shows. We'll have pre-shows, right? And the video views will pick up as well. As a byproduct of the microphones. So, like I said, I keep mentioning this. There's mic videos out there by the 100 now. I've probably put 100 shorts out and several other medium form videos with me waffling on about mics that I like. Now, I've been moderately successful with mics so far. I haven't actually broken even yet, but I've got a massive stock of them. And all of the ones that I've got, well, not all of them, but for the most part, they're all of a reasonably decent value. Yeah? So in other words, each one that now sells, instead of me just pedaling backwards the whole time, trying to build up a decent stock, I'm at the point where I've probably got 450 maybe pounds invested into microphones. But I've got over 100 microphones. And I've got mine microphones. Obviously, they'll end up being paid for in the mix of this churning microphones. I really want to get to the point where I've, like, broken even. Like, when I've got nothing invested in them. But the way I keep justifying it to my wife is like, do you remember that time when I was going to buy a Sawyers? Because someone happened to give me a decent donation. And I was willing to just whack a load, just a ton of money on a mic. And I was looking at buying a £600 Sawyers. I'm like, well, now I'm only about 450 quid out of pocket. So strictly speaking, I'm actually like in the sort of black, sort of. That's kind of how I justify it to my wife when I'm like, yeah, I've just spent another 50 quid on more mics so I can build my stock up. At some point, we'll get a profit from it. I promise, love, I promise. I'll use it for the mortgage eventually, I promise. She's just looking at me with her hand out going, yeah, we've got to get this car fixed. There's an engine light on. I'm like, have this manual super chat that I was given by Wandeck. Thank you so much.
You're talking about a check engine light. My car looks like a Christmas tree. It's got so many lights on.
Yeah, this car's very, very, very old, and you know, it's like someone on life support. If you don't tend to things immediately, they get very bad very quickly. They escalate. You know, things fall off fast if you don't address them. So I phoned the minute the light came on. I got to the kids' gymnastics class with the light on. While I'm waiting for it to come out of the class, I'm on the phone to the garage. And they're like, what's wrong with it? I'm like, nothing. It's just an engine light on. So what's the car? I was like, TT. He's like, what's the reg? I give him the reg. He's like, you. Just bring it in tomorrow at 11. They know us. So, last thing, 202 sensors, wasn't it? The last thing we did on it. I was like, yeah. I was like, we've had several of them.
Wait, how old is your car?
It's 2003.
Try 2001.
I got yours all beat. I guess I'm better. I got a 2008, so my car's younger than all your cars.
It stops being who's got the youngest. I've just been... Chocolate's just... What's dissed me, strictly, because I've gone 2003, like it's old, and he's gone 2001. And now I know that you ain't winning this race, Neil. Chocolate's just won that race, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know. So I'm just saying, mine's the youngest. So the oldest is the best, I guess.
How many miles? Yeah.
147,000.
What?
I'm at 127.
Why don't you try 306,000 miles?
These are British.
Like
no. You can times those by 4. They're British miles. Not these stupid, crappy American easy miles.
How do you, what are those miles?
British miles, I just told you. The kind of miles that slaps a man around the face with them. That kind of mile. Proper miles.
Bring it back to flat Earth.
Miles are flat. Earth's measured flat with miles. If you ever reference a map, look at the scale, it's flat. Measuring out the distance is flat. The topology, up or down, will always be with respect to a flat plane, so you can take a linear measurement of miles over the map and it will work out accurately, because everything's referenced to a horizontal plane. Miles are linear, Earth's flat, it's measured with miles are flat, Earth is flat. Earth's measured flat, miles proves it. We measure Earth flat with miles. British miles are the best miles. You American Yanks with your crap miles. Don't give me no nonsense about your car doing more. Mine's done more.
So, in other words, if someone needs flat Earth proof, you could just point to the M on the MPH on your speedometer and say, that M right there is proof that Earth is flat.
Yeah, it is. Any measurement. First, I was like, told that, I can't say Earth's measured flat, because you can't, right? It's just a reference. What, for everything that we measure? Yeah, it is, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I definitely can now, because everything, without exception, when we measure Earth ever, always, there's no exception, it's always flat. Always. Doesn't matter what the measurement is either. Name a measurement. It's not rhetorical. Name any measurement that, as respect to Earth, don't tell me about teabag weight.
Radar.
Teabag weight is with respect to a horizontal plane of reference, because to weigh a teabag, you need to level a scale with respect to a horizontal plane to get an accurate downward orientation. It was also declared in Antarctica when they leveled their tool to measure things on a scale. That measurement was with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. So when I say, don't give me a measurement of teabag weight because I want a respect to Earth measurement, well, it is still with respect to Earth. Weight, and indeed gravity, downward assertion with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. Earth's measured flat with weight.
Everything comes from a flat plane. You can't measure anything without it.
Yep.
It'll be an impossibility.
Yes. So now it's time for our righteous indignation to anybody who opposes me. Yeah? I already know what the dealio is. Earth's flat, it's measured that way, and the globe believers who've been telling me I'm a spastic for 10 years, you need a flat Earth, you will be measuring it, I'll be pointing it out to you, and I'll be rubbing your stupid spasticated faces in it from this point forth. Now, everyone else will be firing their barrels at you too when they start reading the book called Welcome to Flat Earth. It will be welcoming a whole raft of normies who'll be pretty pissed at the liars, because that's how the anti-flat earthers will be perceived, in the face of it being so absolutely and abundantly obvious after reading the text that Earth's measured flat in all regards. There is no exception. There's no ball measurement. There's calculations that also utilise flat Earth measurements. So all roads lead to a flat Earth. The working title of the book was very appropriate. But in reality, it's just going to be welcoming a lot of people that will have quite a lot of disdain for the anti-flat Earth people that have called us idiots for the last 10 years. Yeah, they're not going to be well liked. I'm talking about the SciManDans, the Craig McNeils. These people are going to be chastised by normies when they figure out that Earth is just measured flat. Forget about your religion of a ball. Forget about this on screen now, calculating angle measurements into spherical positions at equatorial planes at the centre of balls that you put in motion around the sun. No one's going to care about how you try and justify the Earth that's measured flat for the angles that creates your heliocentric belief, when people just appreciate that Earth is just measured flat. And no one's going to pay attention to your apologetics of, it's so big, it's okay to measure it flat. They'll just be pointing at you and glaring at you while they say, yeah, we just measure it flat. Because we do. Because that's what Earth is, a flat plane to measure. And measure it we do always.
Well, that's why they're trying to throw a preemptive strike out there and have a fool like Ranty come on before the book is even released, saying that it's garbage. Right?
Well, we dealt with
because
Ranty
they know
a couple of
it's
days
going to
ago.
create waves.
We dealt with Ranty a couple of days ago, but yes, I mean, I haven't even got time to keep my own pre-show running because I've got so much on. Yet this dickhead who is a nobody, is not even getting mentioned from the last wave of anti-flat earthers taking up our flat earth views algorithmically. That would be case in point with Creaky, who didn't give Ranty a mention, did he? Why? Because he's a nobody. You want to churn at my time, do you? I've already told you, pay me. He didn't even have $50. He probably hasn't got 20 quid to rub together. Or he'd have just paid me, wouldn't he? I'll tell you what, Ranty, if you're listening, I'll give you a discount. 20 quid and I'll read your email. Your long, boring email. 20 quid. Not 50, 20.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that they send somebody out there to say something to try to assassinate your character. Before even a line is read, they're going to tell you what the book is. Really? I mean, if that's not disingenuous, if people can't read into that,
They think it's
then
for them.
there's no hope for them.
Ranty's an idiot. He thinks the book's for him. No, idiot. It may have some consequence on you when people start pointing fingers. If anybody left the flat earth that they believed in without finding out, without just that one step before getting to Earth's measured flat in all regards, you dragged them away from that fact, and then they find out from some other numpty that they're trying to correct. Who do you think they're going to blame? Yeah, like you try and blame us for your own cognitive dissonance in regards to Earth being flat. Try and get us answering your questions that you're scared about, you anti-flat Earth dicks. Well, what do you think the next man's going to do? Do you think he's going to turn around and point at me when he finds out Earth's measured flat after paying for my book? He's going to look at you and go, you told me otherwise. You told me Earth was measured as a ball, but it isn't. It's always measured flat. And the inference of a ball comes from those measurements. What are you going to do then? Tell them they're wrong? Rock and a hard place, I've described it as. Now, if anybody's got ears for listening, they'll know the shit show that's about to come their way from normies. Average Joe that's going to be given this book from their flat earth brethren that's been tortured by wankers for 10 years, told that they're stupid. Well, the ones that walked away because of Ranty or Jaren, as the most recent example, they're going to be pissed. All right, you said the sun in Antarctica being measured off a flat plane proved we're on a ball. Are you stupid? You lied to me, Jaren. That's what they're going to say. You lied to me, Jaren. Earth was measured flat in Antarctica.
That's
Now,
correct.
in the meantime,
and
they've
they're not
managed to
going to
keep
have
us
anybody
censored and
interrupting
under.
it.
They've managed to keep us censored and under control, while people like McToon stick their head in the sand. He's had 100 renditions of me telling him Earth's measured flat, while he screams my name in the snow. Like, literally, there wasn't a person in Antarctica that didn't hear my name being screamed. Was there? Every single one of them will have heard my name. I bet I don't make the documentary, though. Why? Because it means you can all stick your heads in the sand. Well, there's going to be a next man in line, isn't there? And do you think they're going to be really delighted that you deceived them? No, of course not. Now, while you want to blame us and project that onto us, there's only so long that will last. Yeah? Now, me, I'm well past that. Now, there might be a few flat earth believers that get my book as well. Yeah? Or anti-flat earthers, same thing applies. I don't care, the book's not for you. Everyone who tells me about the book says the same thing. I mean, there's exceptions to this, but this is generally the rule of what I get told when I'm encouraged to produce the book quicker. When's the book coming out, Nathan? I've got a insert name of normie dickhead here that I want to give this book to. I have been told that minimum 100 times in the last couple of months. When's your book coming out? I want to give it to this guy so he can read it. I want to give it to this girl. She told me I was an insert really nasty insult here. I want to let that person know Earth's measured flat with a book that they can't insult. Can't wait for it to come out. I have heard that rhetoric over and over and over again from people who want the book. If they're watching the show, do they need the book? No! If you're watching my show right now, if you're amongst the 80 people watching now, there, I would say, is a 99% chance. If you're on the flat earth side, if you're not, you're just in cognitive dissonance and hoping that you'll get some pain relief, which you won't. But if you're on the flat earth side, I would say there's a 99% chance you already have a good idea about what's in the book already. You already pretty much know it. Now, you'll be appreciative of seeing it formatted in a nice manner and in a book with my name on it and a nice... You know, you'll be grateful for the content that you've felt like you've lived through. But that is not why people want my book. Now, I'd love to say that's why. I just want to read it because it's by you, Nathan. Said nobody. But I'm not that vain anymore. I'm too old to care that nobody's saying they want to read my book because it's written by me and it's about me. Nah, no one gives a shit about me personally. And I know that for a fact. They want the book for one reason. To give it to normies. The same ones that called them idiots when they found out that they were a flat earther, without giving the subject the slightest bit of research, the slightest second bit of consideration beyond, I already know it's a ball, you're an idiot. And they made that verbal to this person that now wants my book. Now, that next man is the next man I'm talking about in line that will not be pleased at the SciManDans of this world, bullshitting about Earth being, quote, measured as a ball when it is measured flat. There are no ball measurements. Now, there's a lot of dickheads out there on the flat Earth believing side that will chase their own tail about how not bally it is. Well, I'm sick of that and past that too. That's not dealt with in the book. There's no feast of nonsense. There's an address to the feast of nonsense, pointing out what it is. But we're not spending our time chasing our own tail in the book. It's not what it's for. It's a flat Earth reference book. And there's going to be plenty of normies finding out that Earth is referenced flat, measured flat, dealt with flat. And the ball Earth belief that they were under the misapprehension of came from those measurements. They'll find that out in the book. And that is what a lot of my audience wants to shove in the face of their loved ones. Yeah? Because that's what it always boils down to. This book's not being bought for people that are hated by people who comment to me. They're saying, I want to buy this for insert nasty comment, blah, 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 all the stuff I just described. But the last bit is, who's the person that's worthy of getting a presumably quite expensive reference book? Oh, well, that person is a loved one. Because this person's not, oh, you're a wanker, I don't care. Like me, I don't care about Craig or what he's doing, or Toon or Professor Dave. I don't lose any sleep. I couldn't care less what they're doing. Am I going to buy him a book? Hell no. I wouldn't give him a dime. I don't care about it. I'm not thinking about them. the people you spend money on, like I described me sending a mic to One Deck earlier. I love One Deck, he's ace. So he's going to get my attention, my efforts dedicated in his direction. He's a perfect example for today. I've got mics gathering dust. They're costing me nothing while they sat behind me. So I can give them to my loved ones that might or might not need a mic. It's just something I happen to give to express my gratitude to the people around me. Gratitude. Love. I ain't going in the direction of people who will read my book and then look at the anti-flat earth response. Yeah, they're going to hate you. They're going to hate every anti-flat earther out there. And that is why you, Ranty, in the case of this particular example, as we were using him as a useful idiot, Ranty, he's got something to be concerned about. He's got something to fear. And it ain't me. Yeah? Now, I've refined my knowledge of this subject, and you're still calling me an idiot and telling people I'm a grifter. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. All it meant was I had to sell mics as an extra sideline. It's really all you achieved. That's it. But what about next man that reads my book having been refined by this process? It's polished me. Your vitriol, your hatred. That's what's refined this book. And it ain't going to be me that's going to give you the vitriol in return. It's going to be the next man in line. It's going to be that normie. It's going to be that loved one that receives it because a flat earther goes, I'm sick of this. I don't want to sit on the couch with you telling me I'm a thicko while I try and explain a physical geometric sphere at horizon below surface level. It's just too hard when I love you as much as I do. Here's a book. It's called Welcome to Flat Earth. Enjoy! I'm done.
Well, you got people in chat saying just look through a telescope and you can observe a solar system.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with that. Observe a solar system. Well, no, the solar systems derive from orbital descriptions of motion that come from flat Earth elevation angles. That's to say, if you're going to describe a solar system, that requires a plane of reference for the sun to sit in and the plane of reference the Earth's described as to move through. It's the equatorial plane. So, you know, look at the sky and then ascribe it this title, solar system, is a way of ascribing it an orbital motion from Copernicus that has flat Earth measurements of angles to the stars, like the one on screen now, to the sun, at its heart. So, you know, if that's some fundamentalist religious zealot ball believer's way of, sharing their pain, telling us, oh, we look up at the sky and therefore Earth's a ball. No, it isn't. There's orbital motion described mathematically with angle measurements to those lights. And after you've described the orbital motion in your solar system, end quote, whoever it was in chat, you still have a plane of reference in Earth, with a sphere wrapped around you, moving around a plane of reference that the sun is at the heart of. There's quite a few flat planes of reference that those flat Earth measurements of star angles get turned into for you to use the word solar system. I hope it's, you know, appreciated just how refined this 10 years has got me to the point where I can address that commenter off the cuff. Yeah? Without belching down my mic. Shout out to Sasha Unitox Femu. He says, if McToon buy all copies, then Normie will not read. What, like in Sex and the City, where she goes and tries to gather up all the copies of Vogue because they gave her a bad review, and she's trying to buy them all. She's like at the newsstands first thing in the morning, gathering up all the copies. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm having fun.
Will Duffield probably buy them all and go back to Antarctica, and burn them all?
Whilst chanting our names. Yeah, I like doing this. This is good fun. This is the thing. I don't know why a lot of the people who oppose us have become videographers. I suspect it's a means of, like, dealing with the pain of flat Earth, right? That's like an escape from it, a way of emotionally coping. They become videographers. Unlike me, I wanted to be a videographer, right? This is my passion. I love doing what I do. But I don't get that sense from most of the anti-flat earthers. Like, their motivation in YouTubing sense isn't the same as mine. Like, you know how I describe the different hats that I've got? I get that impression from plenty of other YouTubers doing other subjects. But you name a an anti-flat Earth YouTuber, that you go, oh yeah, that guy's really dedicated to his YouTubing craft. You know, he's a YouTube videographer first and foremost.
Forget about that. Haven't you heard the news that water is the most bendable substance on Earth?
What? Bendable? It's got very weak molecular bonds. It's not like it's a solid.
Urine, water, the most bendable substance on Earth. So don't tell me that water doesn't bend. I kid you not.
I mean, under certain scenarios, I suppose with a meniscus layer, I could describe one specific, hyper-specific example that does have a curve in it with water. That's pretty vague. I mean, pretty hyper-specific, sorry.
See, they come out with all this rubbish, but then they can't explain. Well, they can, and they'll start explaining flat Earth elevation angle measurements. They can't explain how their curved sea level is measured.
There is no curved sea level.
Yeah, exactly. They claim there is, but the moment they start describing how it's measured, they're measuring a elevation angle using a horizontal baseline and sea level.
Perfect timing, like this diagram on screen, you mean?
Perfect.
Yeah, these are the angle measurements that you'd, use to create a system that could be described as a solar system. You need flat Earth measurements in the first instance. There is no curve level. Axiomatically, if you try and bend the horizontal plane of reference, sea level, surface level, these things are all utilised flat in the maths to infer that we've got a geometric sphere edge for a horizon. That's Earth curve. In other words, you still require Earth be a flat plane in all respects and measurements to believe you've got an Earth curve. You still got to measure Earth flat for that. Yeah? You idiots on the ball side, you don't realise that yet. But as it happens, I've got a book coming out, and I'll be out on the tour, on the the circuit, talking about all of this stuff that's in the book and 10 years of flat Earth YouTubing, that sort of thing. What are you going to do? Tell your audience after the fact that Earth isn't flat when the maths for believing in a ball requires it be so?
I mean, even the Greeks knew that, they knew the globe was flat. That's how they measured that. They used, elevation angles and sticks and shadows and horizontal baselines. Their proof of a globe is actually a proof of a flat Earth.
Yeah, the argument for a ball was tentatively held together. The floodgates of a flat Earth are held together with twigs made of flat Earth measurements. Angles that are straight lines. That's what's holding back the dam of flat Earth. They were using our measurements the whole time. They'd reappropriated our flat Earth angles, linear distances, heights off surface levels. All of these things are flat Earth measurements. They've used all of it to prop up the idea of being on a ball. But enjoy it, at the moment, what we are experiencing, what I am experiencing here and now in the beautiful British summer heat that we're experiencing for the limited time we will receive it from God, is a calm before the storm. I don't think maybe the flat earthers, they're just excited to get the book, because as an ancillary benefit, like I described earlier, they're going to be passing it on to their loved ones for them to read. Now, from that point, that's a bit of pain relief for my own side that they want from the book. And that's fair enough, right? They're tortured souls. They get tormented by dickheads. Yeah? So I can empathise why they'd want to do that. But there's a knock-on effect after the, less than altruistic passing on of the book. And that's, next man, is that just next man? As much as he's your loved one or loved woman, that's somebody that's just a next man in this scenario, and they're going to be reading the book. That's going to have a knock-on effect. Now, like I say, the amount of work that's gone into it and the refinement and the polish that's gone into the book itself goes without question. I don't even have to big it up anymore. I've said it already. I'm going to say it now, maybe for the last time. This will be the finest, the highest standard, the best, most qualified, most cited book on flat Earth that there has been or probably will ever be available. It is the gold standard. And I would suggest that it will take a significant time and a significant, and even greater, more significant effort to best this book in terms of the quality it will provide any individual who chooses to read it about the nature of Earth and its flatness. That is a bold statement. It is the highest of statement that I can make. It's me not in the slightest concern that it's going to come out and I'm going to be made to look stupid by the, actually, it's actually not that great. But no. It will take, I would expect, another 100 years for this book to be surpassed in quality, for it to be refined or bettered in some way. It will take 100 years. There's an even greater, bolder statement for me to slap on that book. Not only is it of the highest standard now, it will remain so minimum for 100 years. That's what I'm telling you right now before it even comes out. That's how high the standard is. Yeah? Now, what do you think is going to happen when that comes out? It's not a parallax, a Robotham moment. It is way beyond that in terms of what it will achieve in the mind's eye of the reader. Its ability to pass on the facts of Earth being a flat plane measured always without exception, and the lie that you were told about the ball, how that comes from a flat Earth, and the argument that was created to pull the wool over your eyes that there's a discussion to even have about the facts in this matter. The facts being that Earth is measured flat, and the nonsense waffle of gravity, and how they pulled the wool over your eyes with assertions of calculations of sphericity. It's all dealt with in absolutely excruciating detail, to the point where if a layman was to dedicate his time to reading it, a layman could understand it, maybe with 2 reads. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush when I say this book will be outstanding. The quality will be second to none, and it will take a significant period of time to be surpassed in quality. What do you think it's going to do to the anti-flat earther when next man in line gets given that book? Or next man gives it to next man? They're not going to look to SciManDan to explain how Earth is always measured flat without exception always, and it's easy to prove and show and measure, and there is no changing it. In fact, it's utilised to create a ball belief. There's no going back. There's no, oh, what does Dan have to say about it? What does Professor Dave have to say about it? I wonder if Craig can overcome this. What do you think they're going to say when they hear Creaky say, well, I called this flat earther a spastic? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to look at you.
Run for cover.
They're going to look at that guy, Creaky, Dan, Dave, Jaron, with utter disdain. $85 people watching. Please share the show.
Just a quick question.
I second that.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Ronda.
Neil. I'm just saying, like, I know you've all critiqued the book. It'd be interesting. I mean, do you have anybody else critiquing it? Not that there's any, you'll probably find any faults with what's in the book, but I'd be interested to see someone who's not in this arena, we'll call it, who's just presumes to live on a globe, has a good reader, an intelligent person, and see how they react or what their response is to the book.
That is all we will get once it comes out, one deck. It will be a tsunami of responses trying to shut it down. At the moment, we're hearing rumbles of people trying to, quote, get ahead of it. You're like, what are you talking about? We haven't even finished it yet. Are you that scared that you need to get ahead of it? Okay.
Yes. Yes, it's going to create a lot of waves. That was a true statement when he said before it creates any waves, And then he points to a chart that has a bunch of other books that you can buy. Right? There's a fear that's come over them, just anticipating what's going to be in this book.
Hey Neil, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, Gene.
Okay, my brother's back. He's annoying as fuck. But here, no, let's not poison the well. So his question is, you can't call it flat Earth if there's peaks, mountains, and valleys. It's not flat. He said you can't call. He said flat Earth is gonna have to look for another name
We covered this earlier.
because it's not flat.
Didn't we just?
No. He's just going by the name. The name, like you can't call it flat. Like you can't say you only sell blue cars if you got a red one on the lot. You can't say that. He says because you hold the standard so high with science and everything. He says you're right there. He goes, that's where you're wrong. You can't call it flat because it's not flat.
So he's telling me what I can't call it. We measure Earth flat and the height of the mountain.
No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the measurement. He's talking about the title.
Gene, chill.
What was that?
I heard you the first 2 times. I tried to respond, and then I got the same thing parroted through my response for the 3rd time. I heard you earlier. I went through it earlier. Your brother says, not flat. You can't call it flat because hills and mountains and valleys. Yeah. Those hills and mountains will be described in terms of their height and depth with respect to the flat Earth.
Yeah, he was saying, what does the word flat mean?
It will be the Earth that's measured to describe the heights and valleys of the mountains. It's the 3rd time you've just chanted through me, Gene. Shut up, Gene. Shut up when I talk, okay? Are you chuckling at me, you wanker? What are you doing? Do you find this funny, you shithead? You've just sworn on my show, right? So not only did you say the F word in the middle of my show, right? Now you're laughing at me while you irritate the hell out of me by chanting through me with a response I've tried to give you 3 frickin' times. I've already delivered it to you. Did you deliver it to your shithead kin of a brother who's obviously retarded like you, Gene? Because you're chuckling at me now, you stupid spastic. Tell your stupid spastic brother that Earth is measured flat with the plane of references describing the height of the mountain or the depth of the valley with. I will call it a flat Earth because that's what it is. That's how we measure Earth with respect to the mountain and the depth of the valley. That's what we will measure it, and I will call it a flat Earth. That's what it is. I already explained this to you.
Yes, he says he never argued flat Earth. He argued the name. He argued the word flat.
Yeah, flat like the plane of reference I described the mountain's height with respect to. 3rd time. That's a flat Earth.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a flat Earth. A plane of reference that we're describing the height of the mountain with respect to. It's called sea level.
Yes, so okay, we understand that, but I don't think you understand our question is not even with flat Earth, Nathan. It is with the word flat. We understand the flat plane. You explained it correctly. We understand it. We know it to be true. It's just that the part where it says you can't call it flat because there's a mountain. That mountain is not flat. He said, so you better call it flat Earth with dips and mountains and shit.
I'll call it whatever the bloody hell I like. I will call it a flat Earth because it is. Your brother, who's a spastic, can call it what he likes. I'm not telling him what he can do. Yo, dickhead, are you listening? You can do whatever the bloody hell you like. I'll call it a flat Earth because it is. Don't tell me what I can't call it. I'll call it a flat Earth. It's a flat Earth that the mountains are measured with respect to, you dumbass. Hello?
Yeah, no, that's his only problem with that, Nathan.
English.
I don't care what his problem is. It's his problem. G+. Thanks. It's his problem. He's telling me what I can't do. You can't call it a flat Earth. I'll do what I damn well please. You can do what you damn well please when you say you don't want to call it a flat Earth because there's friggin' heights of mountains measured with respect to the flat Earth, I'll call it. The bit that it's measured with respect to, I'll call a flat Earth. I'll call it that. You don't get to tell me what to do, dickhead.
And nobody tell you what to do. Are you saying that your definition is just English? Are you talking to a normal person that doesn't care about flat or global Earth?
Then get lost. This is a flat Earth show, you stupid retard. You don't get to tell me what to do. I'll call it a flat Earth because it is. You want to tell me that I'm not going to be doing something, and now you're getting told off for it.
No. No, so it's okay though. You can,
Do what you like, dumbass. You don't get to tell me I'm not calling it a flat earth. It is. What you thought you'd be doing is telling me what I'll call it. Because you don't like calling it because of hills and mountains, because you don't understand that the hills and mountains get measured with respect to a flat earth. Then you started telling me what I won't be doing, and I'm telling you off for that. No, dumbass. You can do whatever the bloody hell you like when you described a world that's flat, measuring heights of mountains with respect to it. But you don't get to tell me that I don't get to call it a flat earth. It is a flat earth. That flat earth will be how we measure the heights of the mountains with respect to. Do you understand?
I guess it don't matter.
Yes, we understand. Thank you, Nathan. We understand that. We just had a problem with the name.
Yeah, there's no problem with the name. You don't have to call it that if you don't like it. My name's Nathan Oakley, the one who's not going to be told what to do by some guy chanting through my show about what I can't call it. Now, that guy that only just found out Earth's flat with respect to the mountains and the valleys and all that stuff, yeah, Earth is flat. When we describe how high a mountain is, we'll measure a flat Earth to describe it off the surface level. That's a flat Earth. The one that you just told me I couldn't call it because you're a retard getting told off. Yeah, you got a problem? Yeah, I know you've got a problem. You wanted to project your problem onto your brother and then onto me. Don't do that, you'll get told off by me. Okay? Yeah, I know you've got a problem. Earth's still flat, though. We measure the heights of the mountains and the depths of the valleys with respect to that flat Earth. I will call it, because that's what it is. You just don't like it. It's your problem. Clear?
No, yeah, that's what I tell him, Nathan. You know what side I'm on, but it's just he plays the grammar game. That's what he does.
It's not a,
he says no,
it's a
it's
measurement
not flat.
game.
You can't. The
Yeah, I got
definition
it.
of flat is not that. So.
I got it. Yeah, not flat, not flat. What about the flat Earth we measure the height of the mountain with respect to? That's a flat Earth. It's not a grammar game, it's a measurement game. We're measuring the height of the mountain with respect to the flat Earth, I will call it. You just don't like it because you've got a problem with it. Yeah, your problems are yours, and don't project them onto me. I'd like an apology from your brother. His problem with calling it this flat Earth that it is. Yeah, that's how we measure the heights of the mountains off a flat Earth. You had a problem with it and told me I couldn't call it that. Wanker, why are you telling me what I can't call it? Are you the arbiter of the words flat Earth in terms of how we measure the heights of mountains? No, you're not. So why the fuck are you telling me what I can't call it? Oh, that's because you're in pain and you've got problems about this. Yeah, we know. Your pain is not my pain. And when you try and make it my pain, I'll tell you off. I'll call you a retard. Yo, retard! What's that you say? We can't call it a flat Earth. What kind of retard doesn't understand that when we measure the height of a mountain, the one that appealed to Earth not being flat with, we'll have to measure a flat Earth for that height, you stupid retard. Don't be telling people they can't call it a flat Earth, you stupid retard. You'll get told off, because it's absolutely a flat Earth. Why the hell would you be telling me not to call it that, you stupid dumbass? It's a question, not rhetorical. Why are you telling me not to call it something that it absolutely is? You disingenuous lying scumbag who's dictating things that are wrong. Do you hear me? Why are you telling me not to call it a flat Earth when we measure the heights of mountains off a flat Earth, the one that you say we can't call it because of mountains? That's wrong. It's misinformation. And you're demanding that I don't call it that. I want to know why when you're wrong. Idiot. You going to answer me?
And you still have not defined the word flat.
The plane of reference the mountains measured with respect to? Hello? It's only the 6th time I've said it. Yo, I am asking, given that we are defining the facts of how we measure the frickin' mountain, why you tell me I can't call it a flat Earth when it has to be a flat Earth. Hello, why am I being chanted through by a wanker retard who's telling me what's what with disinformation that's wrong? Why are you telling me I can't call it a flat Earth? It's a fact, you stupid dumbass with disinformation. Hello? Just silence from a spastic globe believer. A spastic who sat with his brother, same guy, same example, a wanker. Now, the fact that you're related to somebody who's on my show doesn't change the fact that you're a wanker. A wanker telling me what's what with your Dunning-Kruger understanding of this subject. Oh, right, the mountains are going to prove that we're not on a flat Earth. Oh, really? What about the flat Earth they're measured with respect to? Is that me needing to define what fucking flat is, as you swear on my show? No, you stupid globe-believing spastic. You are the one going around peddling disinformation, telling people they can't describe Earth as flat. How the fuck are we going to measure the height of the mountain, then, if we don't have a flat Earth to measure it with?
We stood by definition. I thought we stood by definition.
I asked a question. How are we going to measure the height of the mountain if I take what your retard brother told me? Oh, Earth can't be flat. I'm asking, given he's told me I can't call it a flat Earth, how are we going to measure the height of the mountain then?
No one cares about it measuring, Nathan. I'm asking.
I care. You were the one who told me it's not flat because of mountains, you stupid, disingenuous spastic. So, it's not flat because of mountains. When I point out how we're going to measure mountains if it's not flat, suddenly no one cares about mountains. No, you're a wanker, a spastic, a retard, someone who's telling me what's what until you get told off, until your spastic notions of what the mountains will be doing gets rubbed in your globe-believing spastic face. With the flat Earth, you told me I can't call it. No, I can call it a flat Earth. It is a flat Earth. We'll be measuring the height of the mountains with it. And I'm asking you, the spastic, retard, disinformation peddling asshole who keeps interrupting me, how are we going to measure the height of the mountains if it's, quote, not flat because of mountains? How are we going to measure them then, dickhead? Retard, spastic, globe believer, idiot, arsehole. How do we measure the height if it's, quote, not flat? We don't. That's the answer to Gene's spastic globe-believing brother who's a retard, giving me fucking orders about what I can't call the world. Yeah, Gene's brother's just another globe-believing spastic. Now, Gene loves him even though he's a fucking retard. Gene still loves him. Maybe Gene will buy a copy of my book and give it to him. Maybe he'll slap the guy around the face with his chuckling demeanour while he tells me what I can't call the world. But yeah, we got stony silence from this disingenuous retard when I ask him how the fuck we'll measure the height of the mountain. How do we measure the height of the mountain then if we haven't got a surface level? If we haven't got a flat Earth to measure it off, how do we measure the height? Nobody cares about the mountains I said the world wasn't flat with. You brought them up, you stupid, disingenuous, globe-believing spastic. Hello? How do we measure the height, Gene's brother?
What's up, Nathan?
How do we measure the height of the mountain if Earth is not flat? Because you said I couldn't call it a flat Earth, and I'm saying we can't.
We use sea level.
Oh, well, the silence wasn't going to get my clarity. It's only when I'm in the middle of my sentence. I'm clarifying that for you. If Earth's not flat because of mountains and valleys, how do we measure the height of the mountain? You stupid globe-believing spastic. We don't. You stupid retard. Do you want to chuckle at me again, Gene's brother? Spastic?
Nathan, I don't think we're arguing that. He wasn't,
I'm arguing that. I'm not going to listen to Gene tell me what we're not arguing. We were told that we're not on a flat plane because of mountains. That's precisely what we're fucking arguing, Gene. Now, I know you love your spastic retard of a brother, but we are definitely talking about fucking mountains. I was told Earth's not flat because of them. Now I'm saying, given that we are only measuring the fucking height of a flat plane, how do we do that if I can't call it a flat Earth? I'm asking you, retard of a brother, Gene. Does he have a response for me, or is he just a disingenuous spastic who goes around telling people he's never met before what they can't call things? In this case, the world being a flat plane, to measure the height of a mountain off. What do I call it then if not a flat Earth to measure the height of the mountain off? What do I call it if not a flat Earth?
You don't give a fuck what you call it, Nathan.
Oh, do you not? That's because you're a fucking globe-believing retard getting told off by me. A minute ago you were chuckling. Not so fun when you're getting called a spastic, because we won't be measuring that mountain's height for you to say Earth isn't flat, unless we've got a flat Earth to measure it off, you stupid disingenuous wanker. Hello?
I think you don't understand the question I'm asking.
Oh, I don't understand? What, the question about how Earth isn't flat with mountains? Yeah, I did understand.
Okay, yeah, you got that one. Boom.
Yeah, and you're a fucking retard, a spastic, a globe believer who felt the need to tell me what I couldn't call things. Then I called you a fucking retard, with every ounce of disdain I could muster, because you are a retard. A retard who went around telling people, incorrectly, that we couldn't call Earth flat because of mountains. And yet, if we're going to measure those fucking mountains, Earth must be flat. Now, you, the spastic, took quite some time, some effort, some interruption, some disingenuous orders from you, the thickest person here, some laughter at my expense, some obfuscation about the fact that we're not talking about mountains, and that it doesn't matter about the mountains you, the disingenuous, retarded globe believer, brought up, until we were measuring them with a flat Earth. Then you had fuck all to say because you're a spastic, aren't you?
Anywho, we'll try again tomorrow, or we'll ask Brian or Adam.
What about whether or not Earth's flat because of mountains and valleys? You'll get the same response out of them. Earth is measured flat with the heights of those mountains, and no amount of interruption from globe-believing spastics and their loved ones, their brothers, who they love dearly, while they tolerate their constant, incessant interruption to the facts that Earth's measured flat for the height of that mountain. The one that apparently means we can't say Earth's flat? Yeah, we fucking can, even in the face of a globe-believing spastic like your brother. Yeah.
He's a flat earther.
Just the fact that you're getting the measurement of the height of a mountain proves you're standing on a flat plane.
No one's arguing that, Nathan. I mean, Neil, no one's arguing that. It's just that Nathan's stuck on that question. I said, you've answered my question, Nathan. I told Nathan, you've answered my question, Nathan. Thank you. And that's what my question was, and Nathan came through in spades. Now, my brother's saying, okay, but the word flat. He said, the word flat. He says, you're wrong there.
God, Gene,
because there's peaks and valleys.
Forget it.
Yeah, I covered that.
Missing it.
Yeah, I covered that. Yeah, flat like the plane of reference that we'll measure the height of the mountain with. I covered it.
No, it's by definition.
Yeah, now you're talking
Nathan.
through me again.
Definition.
I covered it, and you just keep talking.
Yeah, you get on that merry-go-round, you start talking about measurements.
Shut up! So, yeah, I heard your fucking question. Now you need to shut your chops. Yeah, flat. He says I can't say it. Yeah, I fucking can. Flat like the plane of reference will measure the height of the mountain with respect to. That's flat. I'll use that word again, flat. Like the plane of reference. It is flat. It is measured. It will be used for the height of the mountain. I'm gonna call it flat because it is. It's Earth. We're measuring it for the height of the mountain. It's a plane of reference that's flat. It's a flat Earth, you might say. Now, your disingenuous, spastic, globe-believing retard of a brother said I couldn't say that. I'm pretty sure I heard that. I couldn't say it. Yeah, I can. You stupid retard. I just did. Now, I'd like you to apologise because you saw fit to tell me what I couldn't say. Now I'm telling you, you'll be saying, sorry, Nathan, I was a wanker. I was wrong when I said you couldn't use flat and Earth to describe the flat plane of reference. We measure the fucking height of the mountain you brought up and then said wasn't important. Yeah, disingenuous wanker. Do you want to say sorry? Because you were just wrong. We can and will call it a flat Earth. It is a flat Earth. That's the word we use when we measure the plane of reference for the height of the mountain you brought up.
Yeah, we figured out that it was a grammatical question, not a actual physical question.
Yeah, you said that last time too, and I dealt with it. I said it's not a grammatical question, it's a measurement question about the measurement of Earth, in this case with respect to mountains and their heights. That's not grammatical, that's mathematical. Now, of course, while I'm pointing out for the third time that I heard the rebuttal the first time you gave it, no, it isn't. It's mathematical. We're measuring mountains now. Off a flat plane. The one I was told I couldn't say it was. It is, though. It's on screen now. It's a flat plane. There's no other words to describe it. It's flat. And a plane. It's the one that we measured the height of the mountain off. I gave the rebuttal multiple times. I haven't heard a sorry from some wanker that told me I couldn't say that. I didn't hear the sorry. You were wrong, wanker.
You're not going to get a sorry. You're not going to get a sorry.
Yeah, because he's a disingenuous, ball-believing asshole or a wanker. One or the other. Wanker.
You still have not answered the question.
What about the... What question? There is no question to answer. There's me being told I can't call it a flat Earth. That's not a question. That's a demand by a globe-believing retard. Yeah, I can call it a flat earth. Your demands aren't being satisfied. And I'm bitch slapping you around with your demands and point out why they're wrong, you stupid idiot. Hello? It's not a question. That's your demand. I've dealt with your demand. Hello?
No,
Retard.
you've answered the question.
There was no question. There was a demand that I don't call it flat and earth. Yeah, it is. I've dealt with your demand. For the 5th friggin' time, that's not a question to be answered.
Yes, the word why is a question.
The word why, when you say you can't call it a flat earth.
Yeah, why? Why? That was his question.
No, that wasn't a question when you said you can't call it a flat earth. That wasn't the statement. Adding the word why and elongating it in your speech pattern doesn't add the word why to a demand about whether or not I can call earth flat. I can, you stupid retard that said I couldn't. That's not a question. It didn't have the word why in it. Adding the word why won't suddenly introduce it and make it a question, you fucking retard. Meanwhile, we can call Earth a flat plane, we measure it flat to get heights and mountains. It's only a spastic, disingenuous disinformation agent like yourself that would go around making demands of people like me that I don't call it that, and then pretend that you're asking a frigging question when you're not.
Is it not a question?
No. Are you a spastic? Yes.
Okay.
Not really. I'm waiting for an apology. I got told I couldn't call it a flat plane. I can, I am, I will, it is. It's a flat plane we measure for the heights of the mountains that you asserted were the reason we couldn't call it a flat plane right up until the point that we started measuring stuff. Earth as a flat plane for the height of the mountain. Remember? Now I'm demanding an apology from a wanker that keeps interrupting this fact and asking me whether or not it's a question. No, it's a demand. You, wanker, told me I couldn't call Earth a flat plane, and then I called you a disingenuous spastic and ripped apart your stupid notion that I couldn't do that, and now you're asking if it's a question. Retard. We can call Earth a flat plane, because it is. You said I couldn't. I'm waiting for you to take that back or apologise. Caused a lot of commotion.
No, because by the diction, do you have another definition?
Sorry, why are you asking me for something, you stupid retard? We measure the flat plane. Earth is that flat plane for the heights of the mountains.
I don't give a fuck about a measurement.
So you're just going to swear at me, you fucking spastic? Fucking spastic. We measure the height of the flat plane. It's a flat plane.
Yep, nobody cares.
Yeah. So, spastic. You told me I couldn't call it that, you spastic.
Yes, by definition.
Yes. So, spastic. Do you want to take that back, you stupid retard?
No.
No, well then fuck off. Goodbye, dickhead Gene and his dickhead brother. Disingenuous spastics, the pair of them. So when I demand that you take back what you've demanded of me, oh, you won't call it a flat plane because I have mountains and valleys. What about the flat plane we'll need to measure the heights of the mountains and valleys? Yes. That's a question that you haven't answered. No, it fucking isn't, retards. Get out of my fucking show, you're both spastics. Gene's a spastic and doesn't know how to keep his fucking mouth shut when other people are talking, and his brother's a disingenuous spastic. He doesn't know when his demands get thwarted that people are going to expect that taken back, or at least some acknowledgement rather than a constant stream of, well, is that a question? No, it's a retard, you. Now fuck off, pair of you, dickheads.
Yeah, they're making it sound like you're deliberately calling it flat Earth when they're proving that it's not flat because of mountains, when you're proving that it is flat because of mountains. Very frustrating.
Sorry, is that a question you're asking? That sounded like a question. Good.
My brother's just phoned me, and he said to me, you can't call a globe if it's got mountains and valleys because it's no longer a globe.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing one day.
Other than that puts the situation into a false dichotomy, which it didn't need to be in.
True.
No, we just measure Earth flat for the heights of the mountains. Not, oh, well, if we don't say it's flat because of the mountains, then we can't say it's perfectly spherical. Well, why would we be suggesting it's spherical? How would we get the heights of the mountains off a ball? We're not going to get elevation angles off a curved surface. We're not going to describe the height of the mountain off curve level. It's described from sea level. That's the plane of reference that's flat, that I'll call Earth, because that's how Earth's being measured. Unless we've got two disingenuous spastics, so like a little tag team of tossers that are going to talk through me and not address a single word. Maybe they're pretending to be flat earthers, because it seemed like Gene was a disingenuous spastic alongside his brother, both of them chuckling and laughing at me. Was that just me? They're both having a good old laugh at my expense while I get more and more irritated with their fucking demands that they made of us, not calling Earth flat because of mountains. That sounds like a spastic ball argument. From two alleged flat earthers, I think Gene's a fucking liar, and his brother. No.
I've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, you're a fucking liar, Gene. I don't think you're a flat earther. I think you're a scumbag.
And I sell a blue car. I no longer can say I only sell red cars.
Right, Gene, why are you talking? No, not a reasonable conversation. I ask a question, Gene ignores me. There's a good chance in the middle of this rant that I now go, Gene will come off mute and start talking in the middle of me.
Question,
there he is talking in the middle of me right on cue while I say that's probably what I'll do. Ban Gene. I don't want him here anymore. He's a wanker. Don't want him here. Someone ban him. Don't want him. I'm going to have you permanently banned, Gene. You're a wanker. No response? I'll wait again.
No. Do you understand there was two questions, Nathan? Do you understand that?
No, I don't understand. I'm telling you I'm going to permaban you because you're a disingenuous wanker and you're asking me if I know there's questions being
What
asked.
is this?
Do you understand that I'm telling you you're about to get permabanned, you disingenuous wanker? Do you understand?
Oh, show me the disingenuous.
No. I'm not going to be asked anything. You've got one last chance. Do you understand I'm going to have you permabanned, you disingenuous scumbag?
Show me the disingenuous.
No, he's going to tell me that I've got to show him something. No. I'll just have you permabanned, you wanker. Right, I'll appeal to righteous force. Disingenuous scumbag wanker. He's not here to concede a single point. He's got a double team wank going on with his brother that's in the background, both of them chuckling at me while they ignore every single word I've just said for the last 15 straight minutes and also alleged to be flat earthers. What? How many flat earthers out there that aren't exposing themselves as shills say that we can't say Earth's flat? No, that's shill behaviour. Why would any flat earther come along and say you can't say Earth's flat and have Gene laugh and chuckle along with it? I don't want him here anymore. The fact that he just talked through me while I explained to the audience that after not answering what I put to him, he will start talking, blah, 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 Gene starts talking through me. No, I'm not going to have it. I don't want you anymore. You're not welcome anymore, Gene. You're a wanker. Get lost. Someone perm-ban Gene.
Yeah, we're not playing games anymore.
Yeah, get lost.
We're serious.
I'm sick of it.
Flat earther, it should be explained.
He's just pretending to be a flatty. No flat earther says you're not allowed to call Earth flat. Nobody who's a flat earther says that. But the people who are here to pretend they're flat earthers, like Jeranism, they often come out and say, oh, yeah, well, Earth's a ball, really. I mean, you can't really call it a flat plane for mountains and stuff. Well, what about the measurement of the mountains? Oh, well, no, it's not important. No, you're a disingenuous shill, Gene. You and your brother. Fuck off. Permanently. Don't want you here again, ever. If I see you again, I'll just remove you to a different room if we don't get you permabanned. You've revealed yourself. Right? Scum.
Not only that, we dealt with, what's his name? Bev, how long? A while ago. He's been on this show before. Gene knows the arguments that Bev put towards us that we've destroyed. So I think you're right. He's a disingenuous dude.
He put them to us. He put the argument to me. I unpacked it with a fair bit of interruption from Gene himself as I unpacked it. Got him to concisely acknowledge that he understood the argument. And then when he came back in, he's like, my brother's just said that if we've got mountains, it's not flat. It's like, so is it just me, or was me going through it the first time not met with him going through it with his brother? No, it was met with him repeating it because suddenly there's a brother there saying it. All right, has he not got his own account, his own computer? Yeah? All right, it's just in the background. That's handy for causing quite a lot of chaos and confusion on my show, while you don't put the argument that you had 30 seconds ago to him and just repeat the same thing that we'd already dealt with and then repeat it ad nausea through the top of me rebutting it. And then tell me that I'm not allowed to call Earth flat because you're a flat earther? No, you're not. You're a scumbag. There's loads of them. There's people coming out of the woodwork left and right that pretend to be flatties. All right. So flatty that says I can't say it's flat. No, you're not. No. We'll know them by their fruit, and Gene's fruit is it can't be flat. My brother says it's not flat. Well, what about us describing the heights of the mountains? Oh, yeah. Yeah, my brother said it can't be flat because of mountains. Fuck off. Go and sit on Flatsoid's channel.
But it is flat because of mountains. because you got to get the heights in the mountains, and you cannot get them unless you're getting it from a flat plane of reference. Very simple.
Yeah, we're not getting that knowledge, though, are we? That's the point. Just dealing with dickheads now. The people who are coming out of the woodwork. They're not here because they want to disseminate flat Earth information. They're here to put the kibosh on it.
Anything but flat, Nathan.
All right, well, thanks for that, Gene. Yeah, your brother was really useful, not flat. And it was good that we concisely got him to understand the argument of how we'll be measuring it flat for those mountains' heights. Yeah, good that we didn't get anywhere near that. We got a lot of rumpusing and me being asked whether or not I understood the question or wasn't being asked when a rebuttal came in regards to the valleys and mountains. Yeah, I wasn't being asked any questions. Wankers, the pair of you. Fuck off. Never come back. You're not welcome.
Is it akin to you trying to tell somebody about the dancing bear in the pass video and they keep on screaming the number of passes over you so no one can hear you talk about the dancing bear?
Yeah, yes, exactly. And I've said, oh, right, so the trick is to get people counting the dribbles, and while a guy off to the side steps into frame and starts addressing the audience saying, did you notice the Gene start speaking? So no one hears the words dancing bear in the background. We just hear the same repetition of, my brother says we can't call it flat. We just hear that over and over again through the top of me. Scum. Yeah, they'll reveal themselves. And Gene's just done it. Never coming back. That's it. Everybody who's out there, if you are those types of shill, you're not going to get multiple chances anymore. I've been here 10 years. Yeah, the second you do what Gene just did, you get removed permanently. That's it. Bye-bye. One chance. You've proven you're a disingenuous scumbag. So if you want to try and, stop the audience receiving information about Earth being measured flat by telling them that, oh, no, we can't describe Earth as being measured flat because of mountains. Yeah, you're going to have to up your game. You're going to have to be far less disingenuous about it and less rumpusy because you're just going to get banned immediately from this point forth, like Gene. Like, within that show, it's like, all right, is it just me or am I struggling to get my flat Earth message through Gene on my own fucking show? Is it just me or did Gene start this completely swear-free show with a swear word? Yeah, he did, didn't he? The fucking bastard. Just robbing me, basically. It's not like it's hard enough to make fucking money here without Gene swearing as his opener with his stupid fucktard of a brother who's there chuckling at me and laughing at me because that's what Gene did. He laughed at me. Yeah? Yeah, in my face for the frustration.
He's even, I mean, he doesn't.
Dead.
Sorry, David. I'm just saying he kept going on about he wanted to hear the definition of flat. And then, Oxford language, having a level surface, sea level, without raised areas or indentations, because they're measured separately off the flat level surface, which is sea level. So he was asking for the definition, and the definition is telling him that it's measured off a flat surface anyway. Any indentations from that level surface is measured with angles. So he's just debunked himself anyway.
Yeah, it's a pathetic way of trying to retain control of the conversation.
Point,
the person who's asking the questions retains control of the conversation. So when he's like, oh, well, you didn't answer the question, it's like, you fucking retard. Do you think this rudimentary, useless shit of an attempt to take control of this conversation is going to fucking work on me? You pair of spastics. Even the combined retard pair, you couldn't do that.
At one point when you were asking him how do you get the height of the mountain, he somehow snuck in sea level.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard that because you were kind of spazzing, but yeah, sea level. Okay, what does level mean again?
No point higher or lower.
What's more interesting to me than the argument isn't the argument. The argument's done. I said that at the beginning of the live show. What's more interesting is, I said this the other day, I can't remember to who, someone on the panel. There's more people in the flat Earth community that are going to be shills than there are in the globe side. You don't need shills in the globe side. Dickheads like Craig are just sharing their pain.
You said it to me. It was the other day, yes. And Gene constantly coming in with the swear word from The first word. If you go back and listen to some shows, he immediately comes in with that. And that's why my antenna was up with him. You could tell him 1,000,000 times, no swearing, and he'll come in and do it anyway. So I got to question that.
Yeah, at the point that you laugh at me, you think I don't notice it. And they can't, it's Duper's delight. What you heard from Gene when you listen back to the show, that was, I know what Duper's delight sounds like. I can't believe this. Look, this is great. He's bitten. Wonderful. Oh, here we go. Right, let's just wait till he's halfway through this sentence and I'll start talking like Neil just did. Yeah, that's what he's thinking. I'll just wait till he starts talking, then I'll start answering him. I can't wait. This is going to be great. That's what he's thinking. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, anybody who does that, I'm just going to immediately ban you. Piss off. After 10 years, sod off. I'm done with you, you stupid wankers. I'm not here for your amusement. I'm here to tell people Earth's measured flat. And it is. Oh, well, I'm a genuine flat earther. I'm just here to tell you that we can't say it's flat. As a genuine flat earther. Fuck off. Shill. Piss off.
Same thing with creation. Anything but God. So it's like that with flat earth now. Anything but saying flat is fine.
Yeah, and get my tongue around it. As Adam pointed out in the book editing session, their only response is going to be to discredit me, the individual. Well, I'm not going to be there to moan about how I'm swearing in frustration because one of my guests has already ruined my monetisation. That isn't going to be something that's necessary when someone's holding a book. But the author, he hits his kids. That's what they want to do. Oh, go ahead. Won't make the slightest bit of difference. Water off a duck's back. I dealt with you scumbags for 10 years. Doesn't make any difference to any of the arguments I put forth. Yeah? And having disingenuous shills come in and tell me I can't say it's flat because I'm a genuine flat earther. And my brother is. He's just saying we can't say it's flat as a genuine flat earther. And I'm now going to interrupt every single rebuttal that you put to that. As a genuine flat earther.
Nathan, you know I'm a flat earther, but you can't say it's flat.
If you were a genuine flat earther, you'd admit if there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica that it's not flat because you'd be a genuine flat earther.
This is bullshit. This is the game, right? And like I say, there's going to be more like that coming our way. There's weird crap going on at the moment, and it's egregious, and it's overt and unnecessary. So there's no reason for Gene to behave like that currently. None whatsoever. Why is it happening? I don't know. I can only assume it's because of stuff that we've got coming down the pipeline. But we're catching flack when it seems like there shouldn't be any. This should be the calm before the storm. Why are we getting flack for not saying it's flat from our own alleged side? This makes no frickin' sense. But it made no sense and was far more painful when it was Jaren doing the exact same thing, right? That's how I perceived Jaren to be behaving. Like Gene's just been behaving. That's how Jaren behaved. Really frustrating because you're trying to communicate with them the good arguments and they're shutting you down. You'll know them by their fruit.
Do you get paid extra to like live as a shill if you are shilling for an agency or something? Or is that like, how does that work anyway? Do they have like a different real name and then they go back to a different life after this is all over?
Yeah, they all have stupid screen names, like refracted curvature.
Yeah, that dude's fucking, yeah, he's guilty. I mean, who could believe somebody's name's Cosentino? No way.
But that's his real name. That's real. Or so we think.
What did Gene say? This flat thing. I'm only hearing bits of it. I just came in a minute ago.
You're out of your element, Brian.
Why? What happened? What? How am I out my on that element? What do you mean by that?
I can't think of any other lines from The Big Lebowski.
Oh, right. It was Gene going down the. It's not flat because we have elevation changes.
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yes. He
And
also
it's
said.
flat part.
He also said, "We'll see what Brian has to say about it, or someone else less important than Brian."
Right. Yeah. Well, is flat a description of a surface?
You can have a flat surface, yeah.
Yeah, but I can describe my kitchen floor as flat, and no one's going to disagree.
No.
Let's just say it, right? Or the floor I stand on now.
Oh, are there any potato peelings on it?
No.
I gave that example with an office.
Yeah, but the point is that flat is a description. Nowhere, I'm going to use Euclid's elements here because he basically wrote a book detailing all of geometry. Where in his book of elements does he reference flat as part of geometry?
As part of geometry? Well, flat's a description, isn't it? So when you say as part of geometry, you're phrasing it in that way to catch me out? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, you're being held to a geometric standard when someone says to you, you can't say it's flat because there's elevation changes. Elevation changes is geometry. You're just describing the surface as a whole. What you're describing as the earth is the same as describing a kitchen table. There's undulations on that as well. But the kitchen table can't be described, the surface of that can't be described as anything but flat. Because it's a description, not a geometric plane. Now, if you were put in the word plane, you're kind of going towards a geometric plane, but the word flat is still a description. So saying the earth is flat is just describing it as a massive expanse, basically, that is without consistent curvature. That is how you're describing it. So when people think they're being clever and smart, they started with Bev, with this nonsense. And I asked Bev, and I think at one point, and Adam pulled him on it on one of the shows he came in on. Where is flat in Euclid's elements? You know what I mean? It's not part of geometry. You're describing something, but you're not making a geometric claim. But your description, the only way to disprove your description is to show that your description is wrong. And you're not going to show that description is wrong by saying there's undulation changes. It would have to be wrong if it's a triangle, if it's a pyramid or a sphere or something like that. Otherwise, describing the earth as flat can't be argued with. And even Bev admitted, okay, as a description. He couldn't argue with the description point when it brought it up to him. But what happens is every single time just 1 second, John, every single time someone wants to attack someone when they say the earth is flat, someone who wants a critique of say, well, technically there's elevation changes. At that point, they're strawmanning you with a geometric claim you haven't made. You're just describing the surface as a whole of the earth correctly. That's all. Go on, John. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say, if I say the earth is flat and you say we have mountains, mountains are not the earth. They are topography on the earth, but they are not the earth.
Yeah, exactly. That's the second.
Really
Exactly. It's the second. It's actually a double straw man. You're right, John. Because I should have added that in. Because when someone says we have mountains, that's a place on the earth. That is not the earth.
Yo, for real, because John, that's the same thing I was thinking when the dude was talking before. I was just like, well, if I say the earth, I'm not talking about that mountain over there or this mountain over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the plane of reference that mountain, if you want to bring it up, whose height is being used to measure, not using, not talking about the mountain or the valley. It's ridiculous to think that. Like, this argument's so silly to me.
It's like saying the car's really curvy. It's got some really nice lines to that car, and you go, the mirrors on the wings are flat. You can't say that the car's got nice curves to it. Do you see the sidewalls of those tyres? Completely flat. And you're like, yeah, but the car as a whole is like, it's got some nice shape to it, right? No, you can't say the Earth is flat. You see that mountain? It's just a tiny little bit of Earth. That ain't flat.
Yeah, it's really that silly. Yeah. Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, totally. You were slightly ahead of me. Go on. Sorry, but.
No, that's my base. That was the point, really. When the guy was talking, oh, there's a mountain. Okay. The mountain is on the Earth, and we're talking about the Earth. How do you know how high that mountain is? Because of the Earth that you just measured it from? The flat one? That's how you got a height. Like, what do you mean? Sorry, Jack. I
don't have that. I was like, you come in and say that stuff, but I was like, well, you're confusing topology with the overall surface of Earth. And he said, I said, so you have a fallacious argument? I said, so, that kind of ruins your argument. He said, but it is an argument. Like, no.
No, it's not.
I mean, this was formulated.
What that is, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say there's a contradiction in terms of the phraseology if you want to be nitpicky about saying measured flat. Like, no, you can't say measured description. If you're going to actually do the measurement, you're going to be measuring a plane of reference. But you're not going to use that in a geometric terminology as the description of flat. Therefore, to say measured flat is kind of a misnomer. Like, it's just basic English. If I'm describing something that's flat and me measuring it, I'm not going to say, I'm not allowed to say that flat thing I'm going to measure is going to get measured flat. That's not allowed, because strictly measurement's geometric and therefore you're going to have to say plane. It's like, no, just no. If you're going to say it's a linguistic thing, you're like, okay, linguistically, that thing that we're measuring is Earth. And the way that you describe the aspect that is being measured for the measurement is flat. So when I say Earth is measured flat, I don't care that you see the linguistic misnomer of a descriptive word being used in a geometric context. I don't care.
But because of how it's measured, it allows us to describe it as flat.
Exactly.
You have to see it that way too.
That was beautiful, Brian.
Yeah, that can be your defense. Because I never liked it. I understand the term measured flat because it's so catchy. Right? I can't deny it's catchy and people love it. But it didn't make sense geometrically because of the context of the words. But as a defense, it is measured. Because of how it's measured, you can describe it as flat. And they can't come back against that.
It's because it is. Earth is flat. And that statement, again, people could say, well, you can't say Earth is flat like we had earlier, because of mountains and valleys. You're like, yeah, but to measure the heights of the mountains and valleys, we need an Earth that's flat to measure them with respect to. And when we get into the actual measurement, I don't mind that the terminology now changes to plane of reference. It doesn't change or alter what we're talking about. We're talking about Earth. We're talking about it being flat. And we're talking about measuring it. So it's all good, okay? Yeah? You pedantic bunch of dicks.
It's what you could term, and I've always seen it as a smart-ass argument. There's not an actual argument. It's a smart-ass argument, as in, I'm kind of contradicting myself there, but it's one of these things where people, if you fall into the trap, right, it's at the very start. Because what will happen is you start having a geometric argument with somebody when they're after strawmanning you with a geometric claim you haven't actually made. You've made it. You've voiced the description
Yeah, you've described it.
You know?
When I say Earth is measured flat, that's a description of how Earth is measured. And it is absolutely 100% factually accurate.
Well, the outcome of all those measurements only show one thing.
It's flat.
You know what I mean? Yeah, well, if you want to describe it, how else can you best describe the entirety of the Earth? Well, I can't, like, I said this to Bev, I'm pretty sure, I did say this to Bev at one point. Like, until someone can give me a better description, I'm going to keep saying, I don't know, then flat, then that's what I'm going to use. You know, there isn't a better one. This is ridiculous, because it's like a border saying to another border, well, technically there's a mountain on that sphere, so it's really not a perfect sphere. You know, this kind of, like, they don't do that shit.
I told one deck off for it, so I have to tell you off for it now. Why would you introduce a false dichotomy by comparison to a globe when there's no globe being referenced, no globe being used for any of these measurements? I mean, if I'm going to get told off for saying Earth's measured flat because there's a geometric implication to the flat plane of reference that's being utilised that isn't descriptive when being measured, you're not going to get away with introducing the false dichotomy that has absolutely no bearing on any measurement, which is being on a sphere. Where's that in this? Why even introduce it other than to offer up a false dichotomy?
I'm just saying the borders don't do that stupid nonsense with each other. That, you know, one border doesn't start critiquing the other. Oh, well, actually there's mountains, so you can't say it's a perfect sphere. You know, this kind of thing. Like, they don't do that because it's a stupid thing. I don't, you know, at least they have the cop on not to do that. I mean, I see your point also.
It just introduces a false dichotomy unnecessarily, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It does.
That's because it's really not my opinion. It's just a statement of fact. It does unnecessarily introduce a false dichotomy, but you're not going to get too much in the neck because one deck already had that when he did it earlier. Right, any more for any more?
I have, yes.
Go on then.
What's it? Did you see the SciManDan video he made about me?
No.
No, he actually made a video, and he took one portion. There's 3 videos I made on the whole Blackpool thing about a year and a half ago, and there's one portion of one of the videos where I go through something Adam actually went through in 2021 when the whole thing came out. Adam, like, because they were trying to use angular size and all this, right? Now, at the time, we didn't hold them the task enough on them trying to use perspective when they didn't have it, right? But what Adam did, like, is that, and we had done it had been done before, but Adam in specific did it with the whole Blackboard thing. Is he took what would be if the mountain was gone over Earth curve nonsense, and he took what would be the remainder of the mountain above Earth curve from that distance, and then he gave it an angular size, something it can't have in that paradigm. But he did just to show how ridiculous their claims at the time were, and it made the mountain like way down, maybe half the height of the tower or something like that. You know, right? This kind of thing. Now, that was only me going back over what Adam went over, because I know people remember it in 2021. But that was only one portion of 3 different videos I made on the topic of the Blackpool Tower photo, right, with the mountain. And the 3rd video I made is a challenge, right, to the ballers to bring out a drone to where the guy was taking the photo. We know exactly where that was. And the challenge is very simple. To raise the drone vertically up, right? Keep the camera horizontal, keep the drone horizontal, keep everything horizontal, straight up. And if the Earth's a globe, then the mountain in the distance, you will see more of the mountain, but the top of the mountain will not change in relation to the tower. So in other words, perspective won't happen. Because what will happen, right, in reality, is as that drone goes up, the mountain in the background will appear to rise with the drone's camera as the drone rises, because it's perspective across the horizontal plane, and that's what will happen. And as the drone rises up, suddenly the mountain will be higher, will appear higher than the tower. because it's only the angular size of the tower and the mountain in relation to each other and the perspective effect of visual occultation that is causing the effect, right? Just like it's exactly the same as you can see in bloody Manhattan, right? It's just at a longer distance. Same thing, right? One building's taller than the other, but it's in the background, and due to their angular sizes, in relation to their angular sizes, the mountain in the background or the building in the background appears from the observer to be lower than the one in the foreground. Even though the one in the background has a bigger angular size, it doesn't matter. It's got to do with that's angular size is just one part of perspective. You have foreground and background perspective coming in with visual occultation. Blah, blah, blah. Now, he referenced this challenge and he says he might go through it next week, which I really hope he does. I'm after asking people who are coming into who he basically have coming into my channel, from his channel, trying to attack me, trying to get him to reference this. But all he actually went through in the video was the thing that Adam originally did in 2021. And he's tried to make it out as if I'm doing something stupid. And I'm completely debunking their position, just in a way we would normally do it. But it's the way Adam did it, and just to make a point in 2021.
Go on, what is that?
But he doesn't really go through the video. You know?
What was the point?
Are you asking me?
What was that point?
This is the thing. What was the point that Adam was making?
Yeah, the point, the argumentation point. I'm not saying what's the point of all this. I mean, what was the argumentation point?
Yeah, it was that the boilers were claiming that the mountain in the background was lower than the tower because it was going over Earth core, right? And they were trying to use angular sizes. And Adam just held them to it, as opposed to holding them on, you can't use angular size because that's perspective. And Adam just said, okay, if that mountain is actually that far away, then and it's gone over Earth core, that means that there will be this many feet of the mountain available for view, right? Now, if we give that many feet an angular size, suddenly what happens is the photo would look completely different. You'd have the mountain way down and the tower way up in the air. There wouldn't be even any close similarity in their apparent heights to each other.
Okay.
Right? Under those two, yeah. And so that was but he was trying to make a joke out of everything, but it was
just before we carry on, so
yeah.
That argument specifically was where we got some gems out of Conspiracy Catz. Do you remember those? If not, I'll remind you.
Yeah, I do. But you remind the people anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so what Brian's just described, if you convert it for angular size, you can only do that if you're using a horizontal plane of reference for the angular sizes. So when Conspiracy Catz addressed this,
No.
Go on, Refracted.
No, you could use your field of view. Remember, that was what I got told.
No, you
do.
What
do you mean? Yeah.
You do need a flat Earth for it, and in the case of Conspiracy Catz' utilization of perspective, he quote said, "I'll even give you a flat Earth," because he can't do it without one. Now, I'm just intrigued if that was something that was addressed by you after the fact now, or if it even got highlighted by Dan.
No, I don't know. Actually, I don't remember what else was in. I'd have to go through that video again, because that was only one portion of the video. I think there was two other portions or something of the video. There was just one portion of the video, and the bits he played, I didn't mention Conspiracy Catz, and he certainly didn't mention Conspiracy Catz. Because for angular size, you require a flat plane and you require perspective, two things that the globe doesn't have. But I was just going through the thing that Adam went through in 2021, just as an extra add-on to the video, because I had actually had two other debunk. If it's the video, I had other stuff in that video. That was just an extra add-on. That's all I was doing, and it was part of 3 different videos I was making over the course of 3 or 4 days. So he just took this one part and tried to attack it, basically. And I don't know, he couldn't attack it. Like he did, you know what's funny? He didn't understand. If you listen to him, he's so busy trying to critique me, he actually doesn't understand what I'm talking about. And he doesn't realize that what I just pointed out, even though I'm giving him perspective within that, I've given his low perspective, it completely annihilates them. Because it's like with the whole thing with this perspective thing with the 6 foot high boat. when you add in our Corvan perspective, it destroys any claim they could make, because it makes it completely. There's no way that it can work. Basically,
when you take the observer.
We lost you, John.
One more time.
Nathan.
One more time, John.
I was saying, it's like if you take the observer out of it, it's almost like you don't have a field of view to appeal to. You know what I mean? It's almost like a point I was making.
Well, they're not taking the observer out of it. I don't know your point there, John. To be honest, I'm not sure where you're.
When you put things in a side-on view, you're removing perspective, and you're going to a side-on view, right?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, you're correct. When you're putting things orthographically, you're removing the observer and perspective. You're removing reality. And they try to take those two angular sizes, the angular size of the tower and the angular size of the mountain. They try to take them and put them orthographically, and put the tower and the mountain orthographically in their actual sizes, and show how a line of sight from that position would actually intersect the very top of the mountain, and the mountain would appear above the top of the tower. But what I did, this really annoyed them, and I did this about in 2022, I think. I took the angular sizes of the two and I put them orthographically, because that's more correctly what somebody would see. They're not seeing the actual sizes. So when you take the angular sizes of them and you compare them orthographically, you can make the angular size of the mountain twice as high. But it won't matter, because once the mountain, once you move that one backwards, even just a small bit, the angle that the person is looking at, right, is going to it's going to appear to go over the top of the mountain. You know, so I counted them on that, and I got the rage and hate I got on that the original one of those videos I made was just phenomenal. Like, I was getting hardly any views at the time, because YouTube are still doing their best. Like, I'd be looking to get 200, 250 views, now this kind of thing on a video, maybe 300. And suddenly I had 4.5 thousand views on the video, because I was after taking away the Blackpool Swan nonsense, or the Blackpool photo nonsense. Because once you do that, once you go, okay, if we're going to put it orthographically, then we've got to add in a little bit of reality here. And that reality will be a comparison of the angular sizes. And once you do that in orthographic view, it works. It is exactly what you will expect to see in the photograph. It is not expect to see, but exactly what we see in the photograph. So once you add in once you add in the angular size that exists in reality, then you can put it orthographically, and yes, it can only happen on a flat Earth.
Well, you can only get the perspective from a flat Earth. That's why Catz had to, quote, give you a flat Earth for that. I'll even give you a flat Earth for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That video, I'm not saying if you want to play it.
I remember that.
It's in Masterby.
What is?
Are you saying
the video Dan made about me? Just 1 second, John. The video Dan's video about me. That's in Masterby. It's just up above. I'll bring it. I can look. I shared it last night, but I share it again. So it's right close to the bottom. 1 second.
Okay, I'll get it queued up.
Originally founded based one of the first high-profile flat earthers to ever leave the flat earth community and come back to the globe was Ranty. He was struggling to work out how this picture here worked on a flat earth.
Did you just call Ranty a high-profile flat earther? Oh.
There was just no way that Blackpool Tower could look taller than the mountains behind it on a flat plane. Now that photo...
Like taller? Like perspective and shit? Dan, you clown, to describe its height, tall, how high, you need a flat plane. How high things are described off surface level, aren't they? Retard. How long are we into this video? 17 seconds. You're telling us that based on the elevation of it, we can't have it on a flat plane? The elevation's only ever going to describe off surface level, you stupid man. What an idiot. These people are thick.
And he's not research because I did show it's working perfectly. Do you know what I mean? He didn't learn any of this. He's just picking it apart from the video. Someone probably posted to him, kind of cherry picked. Let's just say, oh no, it's not correctly cherry picking, but handpicked and gave it to him as if this was something that you could make a response to. But Dan didn't. You'll see it go through. He doesn't understand what I laid out. Well, I understand.
Was analysed to death. And it turns out when you work out the angular size of both the mountain and the Blackpool Tower,
you'll have measured it on a flat earth, you stupid retard.
Yeah, straight away around it.
But Dan, you're 25 seconds into your video, you've got heights off a flat surface level and you've got angular size with respect to a plane. Go speak to Catz, you stupid mong. I'll give you a flat earth for it, end quote, Catz. Yes, because you can't get angular relationships off a curved surface, you stupid dick. You'll need a flat earth for that. So we're, 25 seconds into Dan's video and we're pointing out how Earth must be measured flat for his examples. That's how it's going to be from now on. Yeah. What more is there to say from this point forth, Brian? I mean, I know you've given us a nice précis of what takes place in this video, but beyond that, what more do I need to do? Seriously, while I start slicing up.
Nothing. That's the thing. I got to this point, and I was literally this exact point, and I was like, oh, I suppose I'd better watch the rest of it because it's connected to me. But it was like, I don't need to go any further. I was like, dang, you idiot, I don't need to go any further in this video. You know what I mean? You're just after invoking two things that you can't get off, that can't exist in your paradigm. One of them doesn't. The other one can't. It's just like, I didn't went on with it simply because he needed it at me. And just so I'd be armed if anyone wanted to ask me about it. I wouldn't be accused of avoiding it. You know, this kind of rubbish.
I mean, I don't mind sending the audience to him. So, okay, right, just go and let Dan know. We're 26 seconds into his video, and this retard, SciManDan, needs a flat earth. Twice. Heights off surface level, and angular relationships with respect to a plane. Now, if you want a citation, all right, well, no, this flat earth is wrong. No. Conspiracy Catz is the one that took the perspective fact of a flat earth and gave it to us, end quote, Catz. Yes, because you can't do it without a flat earth, okay? Height, surface level, you'll need a surface level. Dan, you retard. You can describe the height of anything ever. It's going to be off surface level. Idiot. Yeah? So go and tell Dan, SciManDan, this guy, that he's a fucking retard. Now I can swear, it's already been ruined by Gene, so I'll just swear at Dan. Dan, you're a fucking retard. Heights off surface level much? Angular size off a flat plane much? Retard. Don't use our stuff, you stupid spastic. Don't especially use our stuff to say Earth's not flat. How the fuck are you going to get your height off something then? If it's not flat, how'd you get heights off things? You fucking spastic. Disingenuous, lying retard. You're just lying to 500,000 people or however many you've got. Oh, 500k. You're just a retard. You're just lying, Dan. If Earth's not flat, you can't have heights off it, can you? Height is off surface level. So Dan's saying Earth's not flat. It's like Gene. Ask Dan, how'd you get your heights that you talked at the 17-second mark? I think it was between 15 and 17 seconds. Let's be specific. Go to Dan's channel and ask him. Just listen again.
Struggling to work out how this picture here worked on a flat Earth. There was just no way that Blackpool Tower could look taller than the mountains behind it.
Look taller. That's angular size representation. And the height, in terms of how tall it is measured off surface level. So ask Dan, how tall is off a flat plane? How can you describe how tall something is if the surface isn't flat, you stupid retard?
Well, worse than that, sorry, I've had to step out of the room I was in. This is a bit echoey. Worse than that is, like, for Dan is that if I want to know the actual height of the mountain from my position in Southport, let's just say, which is where the picture was taken from, then I've got to take the distance between me and the mountain and then take my elevation above sea level and subtract that from the full elevation above sea level of the mountain. Then when I take my angle to this mountain 52 miles away, right, that angle will give me the exact height of the rest of the mountain. Right? How is that working?
Off a flat Earth, the surface level
Exactly.
will give you the angle to the mountain. So Dan's a retard. He doesn't appreciate how many times he'll have to measure Earth flat for this. You'll have to give us a flat Earth for it like Catz did, you stupid retard, Dan. I mean, did you enter into this discussion having not done any research of what came previously? Did you not hear Catz say, I'll give you a flat Earth for it? Catz left the arena over this. Does SciManDan not realise that the reason Toon has got the channel size that he has is because Conspiracy Catz built it, that channel that Toon now has. I called it his charity channel. Why did Catz walk away from that channel? Because of this. I'll give you a flat Earth for that. End quote, Conspiracy Catz. So, Dan, how are you going to measure the angular size of the mountain or the tower? How are you going to describe its actual size unless you've got a surface level? And how are you going to describe the distance to the mountain unless you've got linear miles? You've got 3 flat Earth prerequisites and you're not even 30 seconds into the video? Dan, you're a spastic. There's no other words for it. You're using a flat Earth in your examples. You're just stupid. You don't even realise it. Dumb. Dunning-Kruger.
Well,
Idiot. Good.
It's all a shell game. It's all a shell game. And what you do is you hide behind the field of view, which is your optical plane, and talk about the surface of Earth, which is your plane of reference. And you bounce back and between the two until people get so confused that you just say it's a sphere at the end as a non sequitur. That's the shell game.
Yeah, you talk about the distance, which is going to be straight, linear, horizontal in miles. Then you talk about the height, which is going to be vertical off that horizontal. Then you talk about the angular size, which can only be measured in reality off a horizontal plane, and perspective only exists in reality, and it doesn't exist within their globe paradigm. I don't see, I think Catz was smart enough to know that this is actually a loser, but maybe he didn't realize it until after he had promoted it. That's what I'm thinking.
He gave up his channel over it. Maybe you could say he's just not smart enough and it was just a coincidence that he gave up his channel at about this time. After he said,
no, I'm not saying.
After
I'm
he
not
said,
saying he's,
quote, I'll give you a flat Earth for it, for this explanation that Dan's just gone through. So if Catz had to give us a flat Earth for it, what are you going to do, Dan? Are you going to give it us too? Yeah, you will. You'll get on your knees, Dan, and you'll worship at the altar of flat Earth you're required to describe this perspective, to describe the height off surface level, and describe the linear distance to the mountain or the tower. You stupid retard, Dan. Go and let Dan know. I'm not even going to bandy words. Tell him he's a retard. Not, oh, it might get removed by the algorithm. I don't care. Let's hope it makes its way through the algorithm. Let Dan know he's a retard. Catz left over this, you spastic. Now you're going to put it at our door with one of our own, Brian? What the hell? Are you really this stupid? I had higher hopes for you, Dan. Didn't realise you'd throw yourself on the same bleeding bonfire that Catz threw himself on. So, Dan, you need to explain. How'd you get the height of tower? Unless it's from a flat plane of reference with respect to sea level. How'd you get the distance to the mountain? Unless you've got a flat surface level for the linear miles. How'd you get the height of the mountain but for the elevation of a surface level for the perspective that you're describing? How do you do any of this unless Earth is unequivocally and being used by Dan as a flat plane, which it absolutely is? You stupid idiot. What a clown.
Yeah, it's just, he finishes himself off at the very start, but then he goes on to try and make it, he goes on, You can hear it. Just...
Where?
On a flat plane. Now that photo was analysed to death, and it turns out when you work out the angular size of both the mountain and the Blackpool Tower,
you used a flat plane to do it. I'll give you a flat earth for it, end quote, Catz. He then subsequently gave up his channel. Will you give up your channel, Dan?
that photo would have been impossible on a flat earth.
How did you give us the angular size of anything unless it was flat, you stupid retard? Maybe my audience that are letting Dan know as we speak, at Nathan Oakley 1980, sent me to ask, how'd you get the angular size without a flat earth? Bearing in mind that we already know, Catz told us, oh, well, I'll give you a flat earth for that. Yeah, because you can't do it without a flat earth, Dan. Stupid retard. I can't believe this. I'm going to demand a few things. Catz gave up his channel over this. I expect Dan to do the same, or explain where he gets perspective. Where'd you get it? You don't, Dan, you stupid man. You need a flat earth for that. End quote, Catz.
It led to Ranty leaving for good. And
no, it led to the Catz leaving for good. Catz permanently disappearing because he, quote, have to give you a flat earth for that?
I thought that would be that. But what?
Really? What, you thought that when Ranty left a community of numpties that believed in a flat earth, that would be that? And yet you're still here? I mean, there was me also tying your appearance on YouTube to whether or not Ranty believes Earth's flat. I thought that would be that too. But yet here you are being a spastic using a flat earth just like Catz did. I'll give you a flat earth for that perspective. End quote, Catz. You're going to tell me my perspective's ruined? It's not mine, it's Catz's. It's the one that he left the community of anti-flat earthers like you spastic. Dan. Yeah, when he said, quote, I'll give you a flat earth for it. Will you not give me that flat earth that Catz needed to describe the perspective? Or are you a spastic? Let's see how you describe that perspective, Dan. You spastic, you retard. You dumbass. You fucking idiot. You've used the same thing that Catz left the community over to try and, what, affirm Ranty's position in this community as a well-known, well-respected... What, he was nobody when he was here. He was getting called a thicko by me for his chemtrails. Shit. When he was a flat earther too. I was calling him a spastic then. I'll call him a spastic now. He's a spastic. Did you think he was the arbiter of whether or not the earth was flat? Idiot.
One flat earther has decided, no, everyone got everything wrong.
What, Catz? I'll give you a flat earth for that perspective. That's Catz. Was Catz wrong when he gave us a flat earth? He didn't take it back. Did he take it back? The flat earth he gave us for the perspective. Did he take that back? No, he fucked off. He left the community, Dan. What's that? Ranty came over to the globe, though. Did he? Yeah, did really well with Amber Heard videos.
Of course they did. Roll the titles.
Sorry, who are you talking to? Roll the titles? You haven't got an editor. What is he doing? Is he in some delusional la-la land where there's an entire team of production staff around him? Yo, fucking retard, you're the one editing this. Who do you think you're talking to? You know, I studied media at college, right? When people do that, you edit it out because you're talking to the editor. You're the editor! Retard! Hello? Was that a reminder to yourself, the editor of this video, to roll VT? That stands for videotape, by the way. What a dumbass. Are you kidding yourself that you got a whole team around you, Dan? That's just you, spanner. Roll VT. I'm just telling myself for later. Roll VT.
I'm still trying to figure out why you're at.
Hold on, John, sorry. I'm just going to pause VT. Pause VT. Just a note to myself, the editor. Go ahead, John.
This has all started over because Heen wants an explanation of a description. Does that even make sense?
Negative.
Okie dokie, I'm just going to communicate with the editor. That's me. Roll VT.
Hello all and welcome along to another video with me, SciManDan. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, on with today's video then, and the flat earther in question is a guy called Brian's Logic. He thinks that the photo in question actually proves flat earth, and that we were all wrong.
Pause a second.
Let's have a look then, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to point out, he said, a guy called Brian's Logic, as if he doesn't know who I am. He's fully aware of who I am. He interacted with me years ago. He's fully aware of me.
Brian, if you were to leave... Brian.
Many other things.
No, you don't understand the circumstances that you need to be in to be known, Brian. Now, were you to defect to the globe tomorrow, you would be the exalted flat earth one.
No, he's appealing to... He's got to explain it to his audience, Brian. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe they don't know you.
Yeah, you can blame them.
They're aware of me, I've no doubt.
The angular size, or sorry, the height in feet of Dale Craig is 2,550 feet.
Off a flat earth. No rebuttal to this, SciManDan. That is a fact. Earth's measured flat for the height.
The height of Blackpool Tower in feet is 518 feet. We're going to say 520 feet.
Off surface level. That's correct.
Just to round it off, 520. The angular size of the Oak Craig, it's 0.48 of a mile high. It is 0.5361 degrees.
Okay, I use kilometres as I believe that to be more accurate, and
Well, you'll need a flat earth for it, you stupid retard. Dan, get on your fucking knees and acknowledge the flat earth you will need for a linear measurement in kilometres. That's a flat earth prerequisite, you stupid retard. No, you won't be using kilometres on a globe. No, you don't lay out curve kilometres on maps, you stupid spastic. It's a linear flat distance measurement with respect to a horizontal plane of reference used in Cartesian grids. Kilometres isn't ball-shaped, spacker, so you're definitely not going to be using kilometres unless you're on a flat earth. So get on your knees and acknowledge how flat earth must be for your kilometres you seem to be using there, you stupid twat. What kind of a fucking retard are you, Dan? Yeah, you're just gonna, go after the lowest hanging fruit of Brian's Logic here, the stupidest flat earthers there are out there, instead of coming after the also fantastic Nathan Oakley, you go after the dumbasses and the retards.
Get out with you.
I got 0.54 degrees, but that's close enough.
The angular size of Blackpool Tower...
Hang on, pause a second, you missed something. He said he uses kilometres because he believes they're more accurate. How could a kilometre be more accurate than a mile?
That was dumb. That was pretty dumb.
Yeah, but let me say something real quick. For years, we whistled past it because we didn't see it. They know it. They're just deliberately whistling past it and hope nobody catches on. But guess what? We got your number.
Yeah, but did you hear what I said about Dan saying he believes kilometres are more accurate than miles?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was more interested in the fact that it's a prerequisite flat earth proof, linear in nature, only capable of description with respect to a flat plane, used in Cartesian grids, used on flat maps. There's nothing ball-shaped about kilometres, Dan, you fucking spastic. So I'm going to need you to acknowledge just how flat Earth is for those kilometres, you fucking retard. Earth isn't ball-shaped for kilometres, you fucking retard, Dan. Yeah? So you started off your video by describing about how angular sizes can't work on a flat Earth. Again, fucking retard. You're using flat Earth linear distances. Accurate, you say. Yeah, well, they're flat. So Dan knows Earth's flat, and the only way he can get an accurate distance measurement, according to Dan, because he's a spastic, is by using kilometres. Yeah, they're flat. But Dan is using flat measurements to say Earth isn't flat. What a spastic.
It's 0.098 of a mile high, is 0.46024.
And I concur, 0.46 degrees for Blackpool Tower.
That's a flat Earth measurement. You're describing its angular resolution. Quote, conspiracy cats. I'll give you a flat Earth for that. End quote. Conspiracy cats. He fucked off afterwards, Dan. I mean, you seem to focus on Ranty and him departing from what a flat Earth he believed in. Meanwhile, one of your own, he's also, someone who went down to Antarctica. The channel that guy in Antarctica, apparently big deal, yeah? TFE, big deal, right? And, like, ranty. But meanwhile, that channel owner, he was given that channel by conspiracy cats. Why? Because of this. Quote, I'll give you a flat earth for that angular size. Dan. So why aren't you on your knees or walking away from your channel when you will need a flat earth for this? This video is about how Earth isn't flat, yet you will be giving us a flat earth for this, Dan. Yeah, I need you like cats on your fucking knees, Dan. For the flat earth you damn well need here. Yeah? It's the same one Catz needed to give us. Didn't you, Catz? You listening? Maybe you'd like to let conspiracy cats know with whatever shitty channel he's got going on talking about ghosts or some of the fucking retarded nonsense that spastic deceiver of children now sees fit to talk about on YouTube after walking away from Globe Earth. A massive YouTuber, enormous YouTuber, proponent of the globe, left. Why? Because, quote, I'll give you a flat earth for that angular size that Dan's using now. Dan, you're going to have to give us a flat earth for this, mate. Yeah? No ifs, buts, or maybes, mate. Yeah?
I have to make a concession. In the video before this, or 2 videos before this, I gave the angular size of the tower bigger than Dow Craig. Because of my distance to the tower, I had mixed it up with a distance to the bank at the seabed as opposed to the tower. But it didn't matter because when I was showing it in the demonstration with GeoGebra, I gave it double. I gave Dow Craig double the angular size of the tower, and it totally helped flat out. It didn't help the globe at all.
I'm slightly confused here, Brian. Dow Craig has an angular size
measured off a flat earth. Quote, conspiracy cats, I'll give you a flat earth for it. You're not going to be describing this angular size unless Earth's flat, Dan. So what are you going to do? You're going to give it a channel like conspiracy cats did because you proved the flat earth with this angular size measurement that's only capable on a flat plane. What are you going to do, Dan? You say, Nathan's a really big fan of Dan. Or maybe say that you and your flat earth you'll give me ruined. Conspiracy cats. Are you going to tell him that his flat plane's ruined that he'll give us, Dan? What are you going to do about this? Catz gave up his channel. I expect Dan to do the same. Dan, you need to give up your channel because you're using a flat earth in this example. You stupid retard. And I'm demanding that you get on your fucking knees and acknowledge it just like Catz had to.
Before you go on, Nathan.
Ed?
Go on, Fractal. I'll talk after you. Go on, John. I'll say it after you.
Yeah, this whole thing started off with him wanting us to give an explanation for the flat plane he will utilize throughout this video. Explain how it works on a flat plane that he keeps describing. It's madness.
Yeah, Dan, you're asking us how to explain the flat plane you're using for the angular size you're using in the description that you're asking this question in regards to the description of a flat plane that's being measured for the angular size. It can't be measured any other way, like Catz found out when he gave up his channel for it. I'll give you a flat earth for it. And so will Dan. Yeah, Dan, you're getting angular size from a curved earth, non-perspective orthographic view? I'm thinking not, retard.
Yeah, I was just going to say is why did he feel the need to allow in that part of the video where I was making a concession about about an angular size that I got wrong in one part of a video prior? I mean, what is that? Like what I mean is, what is this video that Dan is making about?
It seems like I would guess, just to answer you, I know it wasn't rhetorical, right? Yeah. But fair enough. Yeah. But to get ahead, Brian, to get ahead of us in what we do, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to round out. Is there anything I need to add to this, Brian?
Oh no, we can play on afterwards if you want.
It's too hot. I'm melting.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've done all of it as a live show. So today I thought I'm not going to do any round out of after shows and stuff. It's just going to be a live show as much as my intro was to say that it wouldn't be. Like there'll be an uncut after show. It's like, nah, This is it. We've done 2 hours and a half. 2.5 hours. I can't even get my words out. I'm so hot.
Changing Don format without even letting us know.
Just live for 2 hours. Who cares? Does it matter? No, it does not. But I am going to round out before I do actually melt. So with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member. Let SciManDan know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me and asked him how he actually measures the angular view without a flat earth. Idiot. There's going to be no after show, so there's no point asking anybody to stay tuned. Just another thank you to my G+ and Discord panels for making today's live and uncut show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.